Diablo, the Lord of Terror's semi-celestial binds are weakening, allowing him to walk among the mortal world in search of his brothers, the demon lords, Mephisto and Baal. As he draws nearer to his brethren, Diablo's power grows and will eventually permit him to shed his mortal coil. Together, the brothers, also known as the Three Prime Evils, seek out the World Stone, the heart and soul of this world, with the ultimate goal of corrupting the World Stone and controlling humanity, drawing ever closer to reality. A small band of adventurers has been plucked from distant realms and thrown together in this new world, placed upon a path with the aim of stopping this corruption before it can consume everything and spread to other dimensions. Welcome to the world of Sanctuary.
And we are semi-live. Oh, welcome back, everybody. Sorry we missed a week, but I had some family issues to deal with that happened, and but yeah, we're back. So last episode, you guys started as you were all standing around Deckard's gibbet, and you freed him, had a very brief conversation. He was more concerned about getting the hell out. As you guys were working your way back out of Tristram towards the portal, you heard, and one person actually spotted something moving amongst the town. Unfortunately, the fires and the brightness of the fire and the shadows that they were casting, you couldn't make out what they were, but most of the group could hear something coming. What it is, nobody knows. Y'all made it out to the portal. Y'all ended up destroying one of the stones, shutting down the portal. Y'all found out that Rakinishu and his minions were actually inscribing something across the stones to permanently keep the gate open. It has been said by Deckard, he believed that the hell rift that had been opened in Tristram, the demonic forces were flooding out of that, were intended to flood out of that, and then they would be able to come through the portal and into this land. However, y'all were able to shut that down. Y'all worked your way back to Tristram, Sorge, not Simonopolis, and upon arriving, found out that y'all had actually been gone for several weeks, as time seemed to work differently in the little pocket dimension that Tristram had been set in. Y'all got to town. It was late in the evening. Akasha, Akara, and some of the other rogues were very excited to see you guys. Some of them especially excited to see that Cain was still alive. And they told you that you could talk in the morning, get a good night's rest. Y'all discovered that in the time that y'all been gone, Sorge has been damn near rebuilt, and it is lush and overgrown with vibrant brush and trees, and there are small rodents and birds, and it is very much alive now. You're not sure why, although Rowan did detect something magical. She wasn't sure what it was. No, it was the leg. Carvana's leg was the only thing she actually detected. But at the end of the evening, you all managed to work your way towards the one structure that they have set aside for your group. And upon kind of settling in your rooms, deciding where you were going to sleep, Simon called everyone's attention and had a few words to say to everyone. He laid it out on the line that he had lied because he was not fully trusting of any of you and wasn't sure where he was or what was going on. And he has let it be known to you guys that he is not a king, but is in fact a prince. But he assumes his father has been slain, and he has offered each and every one of you a position in his court. He didn't want any answers right away. He wanted y'all to think about it, get back to him whenever you wanted, and this is all assuming you survive this place. And that is where we pick up.
Alright, I'm gonna have to award 1 point of inspiration to Adam for the glorious recap he just provided.
Glory to the DM.
I will give it to Andariel if y'all make it to her. How about that?
That sounds fair.
Let's do it.
So, does anybody want to... Well, you know what? Let's do this. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, combat.
Hell.
Immediately!
What a gamer. Oh.
You wake up and everything's going wrong.
I like how Laz got 0.03 higher than me on deck.
Suck it.
The numbers do not lie.
yeah, well, I rolled an 18. You rolled a 17.
Okay. So for the purpose of this, what this is for is, this is your downtime. You do have time to rest and recuperate and discuss things and work on stuff and whatever it is you want to do for a couple of days. At the moment, there are no pressing issues. But the initiative will be starting with Thebe. I'm going to set a timer for 6 minutes. And what the hell? My whole house just shook. Hold on.
No.
Oh no.
I wish I knew what I was doing before
Someone
that
say
happened.
the DM.
Same.
I just want to know if it's daytime.
I remember
or not.
back in the day how they used to do sonic booms all the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever experienced that.
Never heard of those.
I live by the space stations down in Florida, so
Yeah, we went the
Camera spazzed
rocket
out.
re-entry.
Yeah,
My
it
camera's
did.
spazzed out. Great.
Yeah.
Welcome
ever
It's
back.
good to know I'm ugly enough my camera won't even look at me.
You ever live?
Well, damn.
You ever lived
No
back
one
in the
said
day?
it, but okay.
Holy shit. Sorry. My
What-
daughter was
Just be
jumping.
like, well,
My daughter was jumping on the porch for some fucking reason.
And it shook the whole...
Shook the
It's terrifying.
Your daughter got a lot of power in those thighs, Pop.
Like, Jesus.
Oh, by the way,
Gotta break your
we had a long
Yo,
rest,
chill,
right? Can I get rid of the exhaustion?
You got rid of
Ivy?
1 level of exhaustion. Each level
Okay.
of exhaustion takes a full rest to get rid of.
How many levels does she have left?
Is this Rowan's rest
She
episode?
should have
Well-
1 left. Because y'all
Yeah.
slept for 1 night, no, 2 nights.
2 nights, yeah.
2
It was
nights.
2 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 nights total.
So this is
So-
the morning after last
This-
session that we had.
Yes. So this
Yeah.
will be the 3rd day. She still has 1 level. Tonight, when she rests, she'll get rid of it. Lika, yours are cleared up. You only had 2 levels, so yours are gone. Thebe,
No.
did you go down, Thebe?
I had 1 level of exhaustion.
Okay, so yours
And
is
I
still
already
up as
repeated.
well. Okay. So we'll start initiative, and basically I'll set a timer for 6 minutes, and we'll just go down the list like that, talking about what you're doing. If you want to have a conversation with someone in the party, roleplay wise, we'll stop the timer. Y'all can do y'all's thing. But as far as, if you want to forge things, if you want to work on training, if you want to work on spells, you want to do that, that'll be during the 6 minutes that you have. And we're not going to just do it once. When it comes back around, you can continue what you were doing or whatever, but until everybody feels like they're happy with what they've accomplished. But that way, one person doesn't dominate the entire session.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, and we can keep it moving back and forth. That way people don't sit here and get bored for 20, 30 minutes at a time.
Cool.
All right. So, if everybody's good with that, we are going. Wow, listen to that speech. We are going to begin with Thebe.
Yeah, so like, hello, Thebe self. I'm gonna talk to myself in my head, because like that's what I do. And a lot's been running through our minds, right? We have like people talking to us about like really deep, profound things. And like, I fucking knew Simon was a king, but like, I should probably go talk to him about that, right? Oh, but also like that one chick did the arrow thing that turned like colors, and then like she like made snow. It was weird. I'm gonna go talk to her about that too. Oh, what do I want to do first? All right, I'm gonna go to the woods and smoke a little bit. Get my mind right, you know.
Okay.
So Thebe runs off to the woods and partakes in his usual activities.
Gotcha. Ignore the timer at the bottom, actually.
Gotcha, no worries. And what I think I'll do for the sake of brevity here is some time will be allocated to Thebe doing this, and to represent that, I'll just pass turn to someone else.
Are you sure?
I don't have a problem with that, and I feel like it's pretty accurate. Thebe's just rolling in the woods, at least as far as you know.
Okay.
Rolling in the woods so he can roll in the woods.
I will say one thing to you in chat, just for your ears, DM.
Okay.
I don't know a private whisper or something.
/DM, /whisper, space DM or GM, I think it is. Yeah, GM.
/W, then GM.
Got
Or
it.
you can do whisper. Yeah, that's it. That worked.
All right, cool.
DM, the DM.
Pass turn.
All right. With that, we'll go to Lazarus.
Alright. Lazarus is just gonna kind of flick awake. Just kind of laying in his little hay pile that was haphazardly set up, I would assume. Not really much worse for wear. But he's gonna first just kind of quietly sneak out of the room and wander outside. Seeing that, yeah, once again, he's still stuck in this world. But he's making his peace with that fact. And he thinks to himself for a moment, maybe I should do something. Maybe I should actually get stronger, because if I die here, I'm never gonna get home. And he thinks back at that night while we were walking back from Tristram, that he was talking to Licca, and he goes to see if he's awake. If he's not, he's just kind of gonna like your little brother, just kind of like poking at your side while you're sleeping, trying to wake you up. And it's like, hey, wake up, hey.
Yeah.
I need to ask you something.
What is it specifically?
How do you do that thing with your sword?
Oh, the sword? That's not me, that's the sword.
What do you mean that's not you? You don't have like fire powers?
Technically, I do. I can light the sword on my own, but the sword itself lights itself. So, that's not me.
Really?
Yep.
Can I try?
You can. My sword's on the table.
Okay. And then Lazarus is gonna scurry over to the table. Can't quite see over it. He's a little too short, so he's gonna grab one of the chairs that are in the room and just kind of clamber on top of it and search for the sword. I'm sure he finds it easy enough. And then he wields this thing. And this sword, being of Licca's size, requires both of his hands and all of his balance to hold up straight. This looks like a massive, like, Zweihänder to this tiny kobold. But he kind of like focuses and tries to ignite the sword. And
Nothing happens.
Licka, it's not working.
I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm kind of yelling down the hallway because he doesn't want to get up yet.
We're in the same room.
Oh, sorry.
I believe you would understand, Lika, that you have to attune to the item. So, in game explanations, in game, you would probably tell him, you would probably understand that you have to spend time and basically become one with the weapon, or understand the weapon. You form a bond with it.
I don't know how Lika would say that.
I don't.
Spend time with the sword. I don't know. Play around with it. It'll turn on eventually.
Licka, this is a sword. This isn't some saucy kobold that you run into in the markets. What the hell do you mean spend time with it? Turn it on.
Hand me the sword. Hand me the sword. He's still on the bed, just like half awake, reaching out his arm.
Well, I'm gonna kind of clamber over and just like trying not to fall over with this relatively giant sword in my hands.
Okay.
I'd like to point out that Rowan is also on this bed.
Oh right.
Yes. Making very careful sure not to accidentally stab Rowan.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
I would say I'm edge side on the bed. She has.
I'm gonna like hold it up to him.
Give me a strength check while you're doing all this.
Okay. Check.
Hey, yeah, not a problem, man.
Hey!
Your dexterity probably comes into play somewhat, but you definitely have no issues maneuvering this thing as you're climbing and not stabbing anyone. And so,
Nice.
Are you planning on trying to attune to this sword?
Well, I wouldn't want to steal like a sword. He seems to really like it.
I don't mind really.
I mean, it takes about an hour to attune to things.
No,
Of course
I want to take the sword. It's done him some good use.
And Lazarus is never. You're not attuned to anything, correct?
No, not currently.
Okay, so you may not even understand what that process is at this point, because you've never done it. So
I'm gonna hand Licka back his sword. And be like, okay, then show me how it's done. How do you turn on this sultry sword?
You still half asleep. He's just like waving it around, and I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's like he's waving a magic wand. He's not giving it any like real effort.
as you're
But
talking,
eventually,
you're talking to him and doing that, it just lights up because you just kind of willed it to.
there
See?
you go.
How do you do that?
Play around with the sword.
I'm not
Eh,
playing
eh,
around with the sword.
It does it on its own. I can't really explain. I turn off the sword because it is like 40 bright, 40 dim. So
Right,
it
right.
lit up the room.
It's just all of a sudden bright light in this fucking room.
Yeah.
Turn it off quickly and hand it back.
Turn
to
a floodlight on while Rowan is like half asleep in bed.
There you go. Play around with it. It'll do it eventually.
I don't. No. I'll figure something out. And he just leaves. He just kind of scampers out, leaving you holding the sword in the middle of bed.
I just drop it and like turn back.
Rowan, so you were
Clank,
awake
clank.
and kind of listening to this conversation. Would you at all be interested in helping him figure this out?
Her mic's muted.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you're
your
muted,
mic's
Rowan, you're
muted.
muted.
Nice.
Don't take it out on the desk. Jeez.
Whole computer just falls down.
So, she would help, but she's never attuned to a weapon before, so
Oh.
she doesn't know how to help. So she's just silently lying on her side, just
Okay.
rigid and just staring off into space.
If that's the case, Lazarus, give me an intelligence check.
Intelligence check.
Oh,
What is this
Go
guy
for that
special?
Arcana.
Just a straight
Intelligence.
Yep, just straight intelligence check.
Hey.
I mean, that's high enough. It wasn't, the DC was really low. You do know that Sentinel as well uses a shield that is definitely powerful. He may understand magic weapons and such. Maybe he's the
Yeah.
one to ask.
In the meantime, while Lazarus is heading out, he's gonna go search for Sentinel, and I will pass my turn there for the meantime. In the meantime,
Okay. Sentinel.
As this is all happening, Sentinel is just kind of like, standing there, pretty much almost like a still guard to the front of the entrance of the house. His hammer still having the continual flame lit the very top of it. As he's coming out of that residual state of sleep, he kind of looks down at his shield for a moment, and again he attempts to try and commune with whatever the ancient voice inside of his head says it is.
Okay. So you're trying to commune with the shield itself.
Yeah.
Give me a wisdom check. No. Give me a wisdom saving throw. And also
Okay.
roll me a D100.
Wisdom saving throw. Normal.
Oof.
14
Oh,
and a
not bad.
D100.
And a D100, yeah.
Hold on, I gotta find that one out. There it is. Roll. 3.
Wow. Silence, but you hit a wall. Like you start to commune, or you try to kind of communicate with this shield who has spoken to you before, and it's almost like you mentally just hit a wall. You can't seem to get through at the moment.
He just kind of like as if he were to be able to breathe. It would look like he's sighing, but it's more of just a shift in his posture for a moment as he kind of just looks back up, just scanning the area around before he notices Yield and Kobold approach to his left, and he kind of looks down at you. Good morning.
oh, have you been here all night?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's not creepy. I had a question for you.
Perhaps I have an answer.
How does your shield work?
Typically, are you asking how my shield works as he kind of holds it up to as if he's, blocking an attack, and he taps it with his hammer?
No, I know what a shield does. How do you do your... And then he's gonna do weird wild hand gestures in the air. You're all your magic stuff with it.
Ah. You asking me How do I summon the power of the shield?
Yeah.
It's a word that was spoken to me by the voice I hear from within the shield.
You
And
hear
when I
voices?
speak within the shield, yes.
Are you sure you're not crazy?
No. Are you sure that are you not crazy?
Well, I'm not sure I'm not crazy, but I know that I'm here, so
He kind of like leans against the wall a little bit again, kind of resuming his posture before he kind of bluntly says, "Why ask a simple question such as that?"
well, uh, last night while we were traveling, I mentioned to Licka if he knew anything about magic items. And I know that there's a few people here that have them. So I wanted him to teach me how to use them. Like his sword, he can make it, and then he does more like wild hand gestures with the fire. But it doesn't work for me.
Well, yes. It might be that he had to bond with that weapon more. Perhaps took time to really focus it in on its prowess. Let me ask you then, do you have something that you carry that's perhaps magical that you're trying to attune?
I don't know. And why do you guys keep talking about these weapons like they're people?
Mana or the magical arts is a mysterious thing. If we don't respect them, what gives us our gifts, as he kind of like flutters his fingers, kind of like showing off just like a spark of, mana as he's kind of casting the remnants of a guiding bolt as he shoots one up into the sky like a firework. Mana is much like a living entity, especially when it comes from a divine source. Some pull from a different place. I pull from my belief. Perhaps you have something too that you must pull from.
I think I have to think about something. And then Lazarus starts walking away towards the bathhouses.
As you walk away, Sentinel will just speak up and say, "Should you ever find yourself needing to study a magical item, do let me know. I do know my way around it."
And then Lazarus is going to give a dismissive hand wave behind him as he's walking away.
As he does so, Sentinel's just gonna kind of meander his way towards the forge.
Okay.
Would I see if Charcy's in the forge this time?
I'll go ahead and move over there, and you will see everything. Everything.
I just kind of walk straight in, just peeking my head around the corner. Do I see Simon in there?
Yeah. Unless Simon wasn't there and just didn't move his token. Anthony, is that where you were?
No.
You're muted, Simon. Oh, I guess not. Okay.
Yeah, I just kind of stuck myself right there. Yeah, I don't really know where I am.
Okay. So, yeah, you see Chorsey in there working on what looks well, you're familiar with it, so she's definitely working on a short sword, which is what you've noticed most of the rogues around here use, if they're not using spears or bows.
I kind of just make a move in and I just kind of greet again saying, "Good morning, Chaucer."
She immediately drops what she's doing. Sentinel! Nice to see you.
Well, likewise. It's been quite some time.
If it has, we thought you were dead.
Oh, it's going to take quite a few things to kick me down.
Well, I hope so. You promised to teach me some things.
Well, of course. I actually have a project in mind that I need to proceed with. Perhaps you would be of assistance?
Will this project involve you creating things like you have done before?
Somewhat, yes.
Then I am absolutely in. But you have to
Most
show me how to
certainly.
do that.
I will try my best.
Very well. Where shall we start?
He kind of like, kneels down and he starts placing some of the stuff he's carried with him all this time. Pieces of metal that he stripped from battle axes. And he kind of just like begins to, show his hands forward. And he says, sometimes how I can make things change is I think really hard about the deity I believe in. My God. Do you have a patron that you believe in?
Well, I'm one of the sisters of the Sightless Eye. It's not really a god, necessarily. Just a cult, for lack of a better word.
Oh,
Let me pause
course.
it. But I don't know if there is a god here. I know there are celestials, there are the angels, and obviously the devils, the demons, but I don't know if there's a god. That would be more Kara's thing, I guess.
Sentinel gives kind of like a slow nod. He says, allow me to show you. And he kind of like, begins to channel and weave some of the energy as it's over his hands, as he kind of like looks at her for a moment before looking back down as pieces of the metal begin to strip away as he uses his channel divinity.
Okay. And what are you crafting at this moment?
Another segment of my armor.
Okay. So you've created a gauntlet so far. We will say that you go ahead and craft the other gauntlet to match.
Okay, I wrote down how many pieces. I think it's in my inventory. Yeah,
I think
2
it's
out of
15
15.
total. So
Yeah, so far I have listed 2.
okay.
And so I'll do 3.
Charcy
Okay.
goes wide-eyed, and as she walks forward and begins to say something, we will jump to Lika.
All right. So, like, what time of day is it?
It is early morning. Lazarus just woke your ass up asking about your damn sword. It
I
is
don't know if Lika.
barely the crack of dawn.
I don't think Lika would get up this early, having that they had been like traveling for so long to get back to Sorja. So I'm just gonna pass my turn and say he's going to get up at like noon when it's noon time. He's gonna go just roll back to bed.
He's doing the teenage sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, Simon.
That's it.
I am just sitting somewhere out in the woods, just minding my own business, playing in the dirt, counting bugs. Just passing time, enjoying some me time.
Okay.
And that's
You're not
pretty much
you're not
all
doing
I'm doing.
you're not trying to do anything, accomplish anything. You're just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have Sentinel in the Forge. Lazarus, where'd you end up going? You went to the bathhouse?
Yeah, I'm in the bathhouse.
Okay. The bathtub is large enough for probably 4 kobolds, by the way.
Good.
Just don't drown. You could go swimming, I guess.
No promises.
Kurvana, what is it that you're doing? You probably have a routine at this point. That is up to you to determine, but it is crack of dawn, man.
Crack of dawn. Oh, buddy. Going out for a run with the new leg. Trying to get used to it still. Do a little bit of training amongst the trees and whatnot. Natural workplace, I guess. Use it as a workout facility.
Okay.
In more ways than one. And then after which he'd probably go like check the perimeter around Sorge and mingle with the guards and whatnot, the rogues, as he really hasn't had many people to talk to while the rest of the party was away.
I would say when you go about your morning run, there's a couple of the scouts that actually go with you. They have, there's 3 or 4 of them that have taken up your run to increase their own endurance as well, and also as a somewhat of a protection, as there are still random little creatures and whatnot wandering around. But it's become a daily thing, though. You get up in the morning, they are awaiting for you. They are awaiting you at the edge of town, and y'all do y'all's run, and it's just they have become part of your routine. Let's see. Yeah, one of them would be Flavy, actually.
Ooh.
It's Flavy.
So on this particular day, you just sticking to your routine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what? On occasion, you guys will run across a group of these little fallen that you've seen. Sometimes you've actually seen some flying creatures that have come down to attack. There have been, on occasion, cultists wandering around. They tend to get close to Sorge, but the devils, the actual demons, they won't approach past a certain distance. You see them come, and if there are scouts about, they will cast a spell here and there, or they will try to shoot them with a crossbow, a bow or something like that, but they will not approach the town. And that is something that all of you have, well, not the group, but you and all the rogues have noticed. But it hasn't happened often in the last few weeks. Maybe, let's see. You've had 5 instances where this has occurred, where you've run across some of these devils. Some cultists have come. Even the cultists, while they would approach the town, they did so cautiously, and didn't seem to want to get within the town limits. But they did get much closer than the demons did. So there's that. It's just some information for you. Oh, come on. There we go. So still your turn, unless you are just doing that for now.
Yeah.
Okay. again, this is still just that first morning. So, Rowan, you are laying in bed, wide awake. You hear Lika kind of roll over and sigh and immediately start to snore again. I presume you're sleeping on the floor, Lika? Oops.
We're sort of sharing the bed. She has like 80% of it. Like,
Oh, that's
even though
the
there's
basic
enough sort of
relationship.
space,
So,
it's just like, I don't
Yeah.
wanna, you know.
yeah. So, I mean, the bed is bigger than what it looks in the picture, obviously. I mean, it would be big enough for two people. And you guys maybe not super comfortable with each other. You've traveled enough together to, there's some trust there. So, but Rowan, we'll start your time.
Well, Rowan at this point is like, I can't go back to sleep. I really can't go back to sleep. No matter how tired she feels, for some reason, she can't fall back asleep. So she begrudgingly sits up in bed and kind of tiptoe. You know how like you want to get out of bed and someone else is in the bed with you, but it's like pressed against the wall, so you kind of have to awkwardly maneuver over them to get to the other side. Yeah, that's what she's trying to do right now. Like, just not disturb Lika, but also like, I need to go.
Yeah, he's the teenage sleep. You're not gonna rouse him that easy.
Okay. And then she's going to the chest where she put all her, she's going into her bag of holding. She's grabbing all of her armor. She's putting all of her heavy armor on.
That might wake him up.
Yeah, that might.
Yeah, bro. So look at you. You kind of, sort of notice Rowan doing something in the room, but you take what covers or blanket or pillow that you have and just kind of put it over your head and drown it out as best you can.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna just walk out of the building. If I can turn her. Yep. And she's actually gonna do some training of her own. She's probably she's probably gonna run around Sorge in her heavy armor, just like as some training of maneuvering with heavy armor. And then she might find a tree to climb.
Oh lord.
Because it's gotta learn how to walk around with heavy armor and not be too inconvenienced by it.
Gotcha. Working on that endurance.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She's probably gonna end up like down here.
So, for the tree, give me a.
I'm ready.
Give me an athletics check. You are exhausted, so I think that's a disadvantage.
That is alt for disadvantage.
Control for disadvantage.
Control.
Oh.
Oh!
Well, with a 4, you
I grab onto the branch and I fall down immediately.
you can't even really begin to find a foothold, and you kind of jump up to grab a lower branch, and you grab a hold of it and you're like, oh, okay, I can do this, and then your fingers begin to slip, and I mean, you're only 2 feet off the ground, but you fall and firmly land on your rump. That exhaustion is still there. You feel it. And unfortunately, things are going to be difficult until you get fully recuperated, which you realize now. Just the little bit of running around you did, you are completely out of breath. You're sweating profusely already in this armor because obviously you have to have some type of under garment to stop it from cutting and digging into you. So, yeah, you are thoroughly miserable at the moment.
She's gonna go look for some food. Very discouraged and just she's gonna walk around camp, just trudging. The walk of someone who is
To
like
trudge.
To trudge, yes.
A Knight's Tale. Excellent movie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Failed the workout, got McDonald's.
She's gonna walk around until, like, I don't know. She's gonna look for some food, which
Yeah.
she does not know in which direction so she's just wandering until she's
There
finding
is
something.
you do remember there being a bar type thing up here, and it was told to you, I believe, by the rogues that they had kind of turned it into a mess hall.
She's walking it, and then she's just.
Yeah, so upon entering, there is, okay, hang on. Let's do this. There are a couple of the rogues in here. You hear someone rummaging around in the back. You smell something. You're not sure, but you across town, as you walked across town, you did notice there are some chickens and whatnot. You haven't seen any livestock, but you did see a few chickens, which so you assume there could be some eggs, possibly, whatever. But yeah, they definitely have some food. It smells delicious.
She's gonna just take a seat at the bar. She's gonna politely order some food. And then she's gonna ask if the rogues need any help around
Okay.
as she's eating.
We'll get back to that question, but yeah, she would without hesitation bring you some food. And your name was Rowan, correct?
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My name
Your name?
is Eiley.
Eiley. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for what you've done here. This is amazing. As she kind of gestures out the window towards Sorja. It was hard losing the encampment, but your friends, you and your friends told us of this place, and we were able to turn it into quite a nice little town. But it is definitely thanks to you. Or you and your friends.
She looks very speechless because she's not used to being thanked. So she's very shy and is like, oh, I'm glad this place ended up being fortifiable and helpful. It's very obvious she's not comfortable with, like, thanks or anything.
Yeah, let me see something here.
Oh shoot. Well,
Oh,
I meant
a nat
it's
20.
not backslash, it's forward slash.
She rolled a nat 20. She looks at you and understands the shyness, the trepidation, or whatever it happens to be that you're dealing with, and I'll let you eat in peace. And she slides over a cup of a glass of water, a mug of water, as that's probably all they got at the moment. And she wanders off into the back. And with that, we're going to get back to the top of the round. So, for this... So that was the morning. Kind of everybody getting situated for the morning. So, for this round, if you don't mind, tell me some things you're thinking of or trying to accomplish or whatever over the course of the next couple of days. And we will work towards that goal. As I mean, obviously, if you want to have a conversation with someone, we can jump to that. But for this round, let's just try to. If you have anything specific in mind you're trying to accomplish during this 3-4 days, week, whatever, however long y'all decide to stay here, we can lay that out now and kind of flush it out. So, And again, if you want to have a conversation with someone, that too, we can jump to that. And that means not just the group, but if you want to have a conversation with Akara or Kasha or Deckard or anything. So, Thebe.
Yes, sir. Okay, so, well, just to continue and finish off, I guess, what Thebe was doing. Thebe pulls back on his bowstring. He's aiming straight up into the air practically as he launches another one, and then sighs heavily. Something's on his mind. He looks away from his arrow as it continues to fly upward, and
Wait, you're shooting an arrow in the air?
yes.
Oh god.
But so Thebe is doing some target practicing, and the way he's doing it specifically right now is shooting it up into the air super high in order to get it into a specific spot. Right, so there's a number of arrows in the ground here, depending on how accurate you want to say he was during his practice. On the ground underneath him, there's about 6 burnt out cigars, and Thebe's eyes are glazed over by now, as he's been at it for a while.
Well, for that, give me, I'm not going to make you do attacks necessarily, but give me...
Yeah, man, whatever you need.
Yeah, you know what? Just give me some attack rolls. Give me, just give me 4, and we'll just do an average.
It's gonna hit someone. God.
Oh, shit.
Someone's gonna get
Oh,
someone's
God,
gonna
I
get plunked
jinxed
on the
it.
shoulder.
So that's...
Good
Oh,
start.
shit!
Don't worry.
Average
Yes,
of
I
10.
got this.
Oh, average of 10.5, or 10.2, actually, or something like that.
It's going real well.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Average of 10.
Damn.
Just so people know, I rolled a 3, a 3, a 4, and then a 2.
Ooh, get those low rolls out now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we target
Uh,
practice.
Oh my god.
Horrible.
Well, there are some arrows around. Some of them you have no idea where. At some point during this process, you heard somebody say, "Hey, what the hell?" And yeah, you.
Steve commits a murder.
Yeah. This is just arrows everywhere. Thebe, kind of not caring, fires off another one just for flavor. As he does so, he doesn't even really look this time. He's just frustrated, and decides that for the remainder, he's gonna have a conversation with Simon. Potentially we could have that conversation when it's Simon's turn if he's up for it. But Thebe will leave for the day to go find Simon. As far as long-term goals, I think Thebe would like to, over the course of our downtime, try and approach, was it Chantel, whose fingers had lit up the cold arrow,
Yes.
and Thebe would want to try and talk to her about maybe get some of that, you know?
Okay. Simon, are you making yourself difficult to find?
No, I'm not. In fact, I'm just wandering around now. Just
Okay.
kind of looking over Simonopolis and, making plans about how to lay it out and, things like that. Just
Okay.
idly wandering.
At some point, Thebe approaches.
Hey, dude. You got a
Hey,
second?
man. What's up, dude?
Oh, hey, yeah. Should I just say Prince? But you know what? I feel like my king rolls off better, you know? If that's okay with you, your lordship, I'm gonna try some stuff out. We're just gonna workshop it.
That totally works, man.
Alright, great. Thank you, your grace. So, my liege, I was thinking that, it sounded really cool. I don't know about what those other, people are thinking, but, like, yeah, I'd be down to be in your court. You know what I mean? I'd be like the courtiest. You know. As Thebe is talking, he's like making hand gestures, and they're a little bit more robust than they probably should be. He pauses for a moment and takes a cigar and offers it your way. He's just holding it out towards you as he's talking.
Yeah, I reach out and I grab it.
Yeah. So I got some ideas cooking in my noggin here. What if like you were a king and I was like, you know, your royal dude? You know, you don't have one of those, right?
A royal dude?
Yeah.
What is exactly a royal dude?
Oh, you know, well, I'm still working on that part. But I was thinking that, like, you know, if you ever need, like, a hookup on some, herbal essence, I could be your guy. And, like, I know a lot about plants. And so, like, that could be a part of it. And I'm good with a bow. So I feel like dudes should be good with bows like me, you know?
So you mean like an apothecary?
Yeah, but without the job title or like the work, really. You know.
Okay,
Anyways, just spitballing.
I think I'm understanding.
Sweet, yeah. You get me. I appreciate that. Your highness. Ooh, I like that one.
Simon chuckles to himself.
Yeah, so listen, your highness. Thinking that, you know, what if, like, if it didn't work out, you know, you said everything with your dad, and it's like, you know, I'm really sorry about that situation, but if that didn't work out, you ever thought about, like, you know, being a king elsewhere? Like, you know, like Wildmount, maybe? It's pretty nice this time of year. I don't know how that works.
You mean in maybe
Okay, like-
your kingdom?
Yeah, dude. Wouldn't that be cool? You know? You can come out to the woods and I can show you the grove. That's what we call it. The grove, you know? It's really just a bunch of rocks in a circle where a bunch of different druids of different orders meet up. But, you know, me and my boy, we used to go represent, you know? You'd like
Well,
it there.
but-
It's nice.
But what about my people? My kingdom? I can't just abandon them.
Oh, yeah. Of course, Your Highness. You know, this is... I don't really know how it works. I was spitballing. You know, maybe both. Maybe you could be king of both places. That would be great, right? Unless that's not.
There might be some logistical problems.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I understand. Thebe looks sad as fuck.
We can work on it.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'll talk more. I was excited, you know. You're real dudes, you know? Also, you know, like, you know, what's the deal with you and, if you don't mind me asking, your... Oh, I got nothing. My king, if you don't mind me asking, like, what's the deal with you and Rowan, you know?
Oh, what you mean by the deal with me and Rowan?
Yeah, just... look, you know what I mean. Like, is this like a... I'm looking for a queen situation here?
Simon turns scarlet, beet red, and pretty much starts stammering all over the place. I'm not exactly sure exactly what you're implying.
Thebe pauses for a moment and realizes he's talking to a king, and seeing Simon's reaction, he's like, "Oh, I meant no, nothing at all. But if you ever need an ear to talk, I just want you to know I'm here for you, man. Like royal dudes."
I got you, man.
All right. I'm gonna go bounce. I got the woods calling. Hey, actually, before I do, can I be real with you?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Do you think I'm problem?
What do you mean a problem?
Yeah. Forget it, man. Never mind. Yeah. What do I mean? All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. I'll be around.
Cool. Thebe walks off.
Okay. So over the course of days, Thebe is just trying to get all of his arrows to land in one spot, I presume.
No, he was just doing that to vent some frustration.
Right.
He's gonna approach Chantal or whatever. I think it was Chantal who had the cold arrow stuff.
Yep. Where
And
the
try and
hell
find out about that.
is she? I gotta find her, man. They all look the same.
Yeah, that's not cool.
She's at the dance, the ballroom, what we totally built.
She dancing?
Where the hell is she?
I didn't know you were a dancer, Chantal.
We turned the treasure room into a ballroom.
Thebe no longer wants to know about cold arrow. He wants to salsa. Yeah, teach me how to salsa.
Teach me how to Dougie.
Oh,
How did
I
you get
just-
so low?
I could just see Thebe doing the stanky leg on the dance floor.
Where in the hell is Chantel? Hold on, man. Come on.
real question of the day: does Thebe have hairy legs?
oh no.
Only one way to find out.
I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun.
If
What?
it's easier for you, we could circle back to it and let someone else go for the time being while you look for
There's
it.
a jingle for it?
It's some. I'll tell you at break. It's a really funny. Someone did a mix mash, of what's this saying? He's got hairy legs, and it's really funny. It's an actual bop. It's my friends we joke about it all the time.
Okay.
K-pop was a bad dude, ran with the bad crew.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna do this. I can't find her. I don't know if something happened to her.
That's where my arrows went. She's just dead in the woods somewhere. The one person I'm looking for. All the arrows landed on her.
Okay. You will definitely find Chantel.
Alright, good to know that I didn't kill her.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Something is still broken in Foundry, man. This is ridiculous. I can't change.
Was there a particular way that she looked? Or
Well, no, but I had one that was for her. But the bad thing is something's happening to my tokens. So whatever, we're just gonna do this.
Just draw a C on the map. There's Chantel.
Yeah, pretty much.
This
So,
blue circle, that's the tree.
We're gonna use this one. And we're gonna let her name show so you can see her at all times. Or not. I mean, there we go.
Rogue Archer.
There's Chantel. Right there. So, yeah, you would find her easily enough. Damn.
Okay. I'm gonna go say what's up. If I can move.
Thebe? Yes? That was
Hey,
the strange
that-
one.
dude. What? Anyway, Chantel, I have a request for you, and you can't say no because there's something in it for you.
Okay.
Thebe holds up a little good berry and like wiggles it. I got you a good berry.
And what makes it good?
You'll know when you try it. It's a special good berry too. Anyway, hold out your hand and I'm just gonna put that right
She
there.
gingerly allows you to place it in her hand.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna close her hand around it. Yeah, that's for later. Don't have that now. I need you to focus. So listen. I was really hoping that you could show me how to do the cold hand thingy that you do on your arrows.
Okay. So yeah, we'll get back to that, and we will jump to Lazarus real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Lazarus. As Thebe and Chantel are having their awkward conversation, what is it Lazarus would be doing over the next couple of days? And is there any conversations you wish to have?
So over the next couple days, Lazarus is actually going to spend an inordinate amount of time in a bathhouse, alone, especially for, a lizard, someone who doesn't really sweat or is known to bathe all that often normally. But occasionally people can hear what sounds like a conversation coming from the bathhouse. Knowing that there shouldn't be any more than one person in there, seeing as only Lazarus usually has been going in there when no one else is. So he has been talking to himself, trying to reassure himself that, okay, maybe there's a point to this. And sometimes he'll bring different items that you have seen him with, like his knives, some of the rope that he has in his backpack, maybe some plants in his clothes. And every time you see him going into the bathhouse, you hear more talking, and that lasts for like an hour or two. Like he'll bring his bedroll. You'll see him walk in with a fork, and he's just talking. He's just talking, like all day long. He just keeps going into the bathhouse by himself.
And you had the right to call me crazy.
And every time someone manages to see him leaving, he always has this disgruntled look on his face, like something's not right, like something's not quite going the way he wants it to. And he wears it very, very much like on his sleeve. His steps are very what could be assumed to be a stomping for someone so small. It's more like a like a staccato in his step.
Okay.
But over the next few days, he just keeps pulling things out of his backpack and seemingly talking to them in the bathhouse while no one's there. And he gets frustrated and goes over to the forge where I assume Sentinel is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to rather loudly exclaim, "It's not working!" like he has any idea what Laz is talking about.
Okay.
I suppose, like, are you outside the fort saying that, or did you walk in the door?
Well, I walked like straight through the door.
Where are you going, Lazarus?
I don't know where the forge is.
Oh, look, it's down here.
Ah, okay.
So if you ever want to know that little target symbol next to your name in the turn counter, if you click it, it'll ping me on the map, just in case, because it's very dark outside. I mean, as you walk into the forge, you see, Sentinel just right next to Charcy, just smashing metal. We're smashing metal back and forth over the hot coals. As he kind of like turns around, and he looks at you, and he looks to Charcy and says, "Give me but just a moment." And he kind of like turns around and faces you, and he's like, "What isn't working? Are you trying to reach into something?"
You said that if I talk to stuff, I can do magic with them. And none of my stuff can do magic.
It's not a hole. All right. The Sentinel kind of just like, with his shield, like he grabs it against the wall and he places it between the two of them, and like he's holding the shield in front of you, and he says, "What do you see when you look at this?"
A shield?
Yes, it's a shield. But what do you see when you gaze upon it? When you see the calligraphy and the design, the etchings, the plating, what do you see really when you look at this?
A shield?
He looks at you, and with again a dead stare. Again, it's very hard for him to express his inability for you to understand. When you have something that means something to you, something that you find that emanates power or energy, or something connected to one of the strands of belief or arcana, you find yourself able to bond closer to it. When you say that you've been trying to connect to things, what exactly have you been trying to connect to?
Well, I tried my backpack and my clothes and some of my lockpicks. I tried a fork earlier today, and that didn't work either. But I've been talking to everything for a very long time.
What is there anything, those items mean anything truly of value to you? And I'm going to ask you this, DM, would Sentinel have ever seen this horn on him? Does he wear it?
He showed it to the group, and it is.
He wears it all the time.
Yeah, it is very visible. I mean, it's always hanging on his side or wherever.
Would I notice anything innately different about said horn? Does it look like it might to me? Does it seem like it could possibly be a valuable item that he carries?
I mean,
So,
it is very intricately carved.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
And there are some runes and stuff on it. I did share a picture of it.
Yeah.
He noticeably never leaves its side. Like it's
Okay.
always on him.
And he kind of like noticed, he looks down at you, and he says, "These items that you're trying to bond with, They may be merely items. What do you think of something that never leaves your side? Is something that's perhaps an heirloom, something belonging to your family, something that gifts you something you could never have imagined. When I found this shield, I gazed into it and I felt like something gazed back. Like as if by merely holding it, I felt the awakening of something greater than myself. Is there something that's like that for you? Something
Well,
that's
I don't have any heirlooms per se. My family never really gave me anything. Not that I really had a family to speak of. Um, but hmm. And then you can see him kind of like looking down at the leather strap going across his chest, like he starts fingering with it. I have this, I guess, although it's kind of done me more harm than good at this point.
what is
Uh,
it?
and he's gonna like reach over to his side and just kind of hold it up while it's still like wrapped around his body. It's kind of a horn. You can't drink out of it. There's a hole at the bottom. But you can blow through it, and it sounds very loud. I did it in a crowd once. Didn't really do much. Uh-oh.
One thing I want to do though, DM, real quick, is that while he's holding this to me, I want to kind of like gaze at the item, and I would like to try to identify what I can see. If I see if I could search for it, any magical presence in it.
So with an Arcana check of 12, um, you you can't cast Identify though, right?
I can.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
It's oh yeah, no, it's pre-built into my character. Yeah, I can because it's my or subclass.
Okay, so is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you cast Identify on this horn, and while it comes back, it's almost information overload. It's very much the way when you identified the shield.
Mm-hmm.
It was a super powerful item, but you couldn't tell everything or anything about any details. You do understand that, very much like the shield, it's something you would have to sit down and bond with or attune to understand its full properties.
Okay. As I'm looking at it, like again, his eye, he takes the whole straps off his head, and his other eye like just gazes at it, and it's almost like a flickering lens of energy between him and his eye and what he's staring at. And he looks back up at you after he completes this identification, and he looks at you, Lazarus, and he says, "You said you've spoken to items before. Have you ever spoken to this item?"
Well, no. It's kind of an instrument. It's meant to be played, not really spoken to. Although I guess I haven't really played this, or really know how to play this.
Be wary, but I suggest you take time to truly involve yourself with this particular instrument. Take time to speak with it like you've done the other objects you've gone to. Perhaps even play it.
Okay, but I'm not gonna do it like I told me to do. He sounds like he's really into his sword.
Well, Liquor is quite a hothead, but he means well.
And then Lazarus is gonna like turn around and like pitter patter out of the forge, and like staring at his horn. He's gonna go back to the bathhouse.
Okay.
As he's done everything there. He's gonna have his little conversation with the horn, not as sultry as one might think a conversation with a horn would go.
Okay. So how exactly do you go about this conversing with said horn?
Well, he's going to first turn on the bath. Not to get in it, but more to make the room hot, as Lazarus feels very much comforted in the presence of heat.
Okay. Well, there are stones in the fireplace out here, and there are buckets of water, so you could basically make this into a steam if you did enough of it.
Yeah, he's gonna steam room this place.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Rowan, as you are approaching the bathhouse, at some point you see steam or mist or fog emitting from cracks in the wall and coming out of the door. Yeah. So, anyways, continue, Lazarus. I'm sorry.
And he's going to, well, after that's all set up, he's going to kind of strip down his coat and his, well, he didn't put on his armor this morning. He's going to strip down his coat and everything to be a little lighter. And he's going to sit in the corner and just kind of stare at this horn and like move his fingers across it and look at the gem that's placed on the side of it.
Okay.
And he's just gonna be like, you've caused me a lot of trouble. Although, I guess it's not your fault, as he's like meandering over it, looking inside it. But a lot of this is because I found you. And I just need to know why. And for like the next however long he stays in there, he's gonna stay in there until all the steam clears out. So for like the next however long that takes, he's just gonna continue having that conversation.
Okay.
And then I'll pass my turn.
All right. Sentinel. So you and Charcy. Oh, okay, whatever. Shut up. You and Charcy are. She exclaims at the you creating this gauntlet here, and as you try to explain to her how to do that, she doesn't fully get it. You, during your explanation and obviously using this, you understand that this is something that comes from not only your deity, but also something from within yourself. Some choice you've made that has led you down this path in your life has given you this ability, as well as some of it coming from your deity. It's very hard to explain that to Charcy. Things are a little different in this world from what you've gathered, and she's probably not going to be able to do this, but she is still fascinated by it. And over the course of a couple of days, you guys work together. She shows you a couple of ways to go about forging things a little quicker, different ways to melt steel and fold it and make it harder so that your edges stay sharper longer, stuff like that. Some of this you have seen when you learned from your dwarven companion, and other things. A lot of it is very much the same as far as forging goes. There's only so many ways you can forge things, right? So, but she shows you a few little tricks that you've never seen, that you can implement into your forging in the future. Shortcuts.
+1 to forging.
Huh?
+1 to forging.
But and again, I'm not fast forwarding you till the end of your days, but I'm just saying over the course of the few days you do create a couple more pieces. You can go ahead and add them to your inventory now. For now, we'll say 5 more pieces, so you total of 7.
There was 2 initially plus the 1, and so that'd be 10 total.
So 7 and
7 pieces. Wait, no. How many pieces am I making in this this day and a half or 2?
for now 5 more, so that'll be 7 total.
5 more. It'd be 8 then.
Or 8 total. Okay, so you have your gauntlets, you have your shoulder pieces, or pauldrons as they're called. You have your you begin working on your leggings. So you have your it's not a boot. What's it called?
Shin guards.
Greaves.
Greaves. Yes.
Greaves.
Greaves and shin guards. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, and you have the sections that cover your thigh and all that. So at this point, you need to craft or craft a couple of breastplates, one for each side, and a back piece and whatnot. But a part of it is also going to be getting it all connected together. So you're not going to have 15 pieces you got to work on. You're going to have a full suit, and then I'll say a few of those pieces, quote unquote, will be actually connecting it all together to create a suit of armor.
Okay.
But you're about halfway there by the end of the time you spend here, or actually a little over halfway. It's actually coming together quite nicely. Charcy helps you. Of course, she asks for your help in return to create, because they do need to create weapons and whatnot for the rogues. She does tell you over the course of a few days that there have been scouts that have kind of filtered in, that were out amongst the plains, not sure where to go, that had escaped or fled the monastery. There are some that had fled the encampment, and as people get separated in times like that, and they have found their way back here. And there's actually a total of about 50 rogues at the moment, which is more than you ever saw at the encampment. And again, some of them were scouts that Kasha may have sent out from the encampment originally to find any survivors, any towns that may have survived, anything like that have come back and found their way back here. Anything else? Anything else you would like to do or work on?
So while I guess
Conversations
we're
you'd
working,
like to have. Sorry.
so while we've been working on this at this point in time, there are other things I'd like to be trying to produce as well besides this plateware. But obviously, the plateware is taking up a large percentage of that time, so I don't know if I'd be getting to any of the other stuff just immediately.
Okay. What is it you'd like to work on? Oh, it is.
I need to produce. I'm trying to in one usage of my divinity, I'm trying to produce a S stock.
Okay. Yeah, you create one, no problem.
Okay.
It is. Find an image online,
I got one for you.
and I'll use that and create a weapon at some point. Not tonight, but
It's
maybe
very
over the
similar to a
weekend.
rapier.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put it in the group one chat?
Okay. So yeah, you have that. Charcy actually helps you with the design a little bit. Understanding that you've explained to who it's for, I presume.
Yeah, I explained who the individual is for, but I don't necessarily reveal that openly.
Oh, okay. Well, she shows you a few little tricks and tips to make it, to make it, and helps you in the process. Anything else?
Not immediately. that takes up a lot of time for him going through the process. He occasionally, exchanges a few words, admiring the work of Charcy while he works beside her, showing her, letting her gaze upon the divine craft, and every so often kind of just, engaging in subtle conversation. But he's very focused and driven to do a specific task at hand.
Okay. She is, at times, over the course of the days, she actually just kind of sits and watches you work. Watches basically your methods and studies and learns things from you as well. And then, of course, she's not as tireless as you are. She has to sleep, but she allows you to continue working through the night if you wish. Gives you full run of the forge.
Awesome.
Even when she's not there. So
pretty much, Sentinel's only he's barely meeting the necessary amount of inert status just to keep operating. He's just working
5 hours,
through
59 minutes.
Yep, it's right there. At that point, it's like clockwork to him. He's like up and forge. And I will say that while the forge, is being prepped or cooled based on types of things he's waiting for it to finish, steel to finish cooling, or stuff like that, he will be contemplating schematics for other things he wishes to design and build as well.
Okay.
Perhaps things in even a clockwork-like nature.
Are you concentrating on something?
No, but I like to just think he's concentrating on the forge.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
It won't go away.
Nope.
Sentinel's just always concentrating.
I'm just always focused. You can't stop me.
That's funny.
Yeah, I can't take it off.
Sheer determination.
See, that's what's weird though. When I click it, it takes it off and then re-adds it immediately.
Yeah, that's what it was doing for me too.
That is weird.
Like I was saying,
Nothing's up.
Foundry. They just had another update, so I had to redo all the updates and everything.
Oh,
not a major update, but like they're still fixing bugs from their
Patching.
last big from their last big update.
Yeah, like 10.01 hotfix or something like that.
This is like the third one now.
But yeah, Sentinel doesn't leave the forge unless prompted by someone if necessary.
Okay.
Like he's just in there day in day out.
Licka, on that first day, noon comes, you begrudgingly wake up.
Yep.
But you are well rested.
I think what Licka does is on the first day he'll get up at like noon, but for the following days I think he'll get up just a bit earlier, around like past 9 or 10, whatever that time is. And for the most part, seeing that when they entered Sorge, he saw some like training dummies by the entrance of it. Since Laika was, raised in the fight pits, he sort of got a little bit giddy about, sparring with like combat dummies. So I think when noon hits, he'd get up. I don't think he'd put on his armor. I think he'd just walk in like, normal common clothes. And he wouldn't bring his weapon with him because he was more used to fighting hand to hand. And I guess for the rest of the days, it would be him sparring with the dummy and him sparring with his own echo. So like taking shadow boxing to like a whole new level of trying to hit your own echo type stuff. I guess that's mostly it.
I never thought about that, but yeah, you can use your echo. You can use it to attack yourself.
Sparring dummy time, bro. Easy.
Holy shit.
So yeah, for the most part, I think it's just what is it, like training his combat prowess. Like he's gone down like twice or thrice, so I don't think he would want to go down again. And so he's like constantly training for most of the days. And I guess during the nights, it's just, take shower, eat, go back to bed. Because he doesn't really have, he's not good conversationalist wise, and it's awkward and everything. So
well, at some point during the during all this, one of the rogues that you see fight with shield and spear would approach you and offer a few tips here and there,
Nice.
and also ask if you wouldn't mind sparring with them, as they have wooden weapons made for sparring. They hurt, but it's just to let you know you fucked up. You know, it's not
Yeah.
deadly.
Definitely.
But they learn a few things from you as well. It kind of goes back and forth. You know, you get the better of them, they get the better of you at times.
Right.
And different ones. It's sometimes one day in particular they have there's like 4 or 5 of them there, and they're all around you, and you are trying to guard against several attacks at once.
Right.
And they are instructing you on how best to, shore up your defenses. Learn to watch for income attacks from all sides. But yeah, they kind of help in this training. And Kasha at some point comes in and asks you if she can give you some pointers. And
All right.
during that time, she grabs one of the swords, and she's a stout woman. She is obviously still a dexterous fighter, but she does a couple of maneuvers and knocks you on your ass a few times. You can tell she is quite a bit more experienced in fighting than you are.
Yeah.
And very much so. She runs, the rogues, and from what you've heard, this monastery, she was in charge of the monastery. So, but yeah, that's, over the course of a few days, that's kind of how it goes for you.
Yeah.
Anything else? Would you like to have a conversation with anyone?
I think at some point in one of the days, I'd invite either Rowan or Kervana to come over and train as well. But that depends if they just want to make conversation. I kind of just want to be able to spar with somebody and be able to sort of play off of them, Like in the case that combat comes again, I'd know what they prefer doing or what they like doing, and I could essentially support them in that sense. So yeah, that's basically it.
Let the viewers know that he was afraid to spar with Sentinel.
Nah, I was more you're busy with the forge, I don't want to be messing around with your work, concentrating all the time.
I just imagine you're like trying to hit me with the sword, but it's just not working. You're like,
Think.
how is he? It's tinking off him, and he's not even doing anything.
He takes no damage.
Man, just doesn't go down. I don't know.
He just stands. What do I do? He just stands there menacingly.
All right.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Simon, Thebe leaves you to your highness in the woods after sharing his herb with you, and the next few days are yours to do with as you wish.
I go find Akara. Actually, I go find Kasha. Which
You know what? I'm gonna put her over here by the training dummies, because she is actually just taught a hard lesson to Lika and is leaving. And she doesn't do so cockily. She does so in a very instructive manner, Lika. Not to hurt your pride, but just to, make you understand where you really need to work on.
All right.
Simon, was it?
yes, hi Kasha.
Can I help you?
Oh, just wandering around, looking over everything. You you're usually responsible for all the rogues' training and combat knowledge?
I was, and then it was, well, Bloodraven took that over, and then all hell broke loose, and now it is, well, we haven't had much time to train lately.
Well, they seem to be well trained.
These are, well, they've been trained for quite some time. We don't have any new rogues, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, what's your opinion on our defenses and everything?
You're talking about Sorge or your defenses?
Well, I was talking about Simonopolis's defenses, but sure.
What in the hells is Simonopolis?
That's what this place is called. I thought we all, you guys knew that.
I'm pretty sure it's Sorge. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm very much fine. I like tomatoes. Do you like tomatoes?
Yeah.
Give the man inspiration.
Oh my god.
He's already got one.
What a king. What a king.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, seeing as how you call it one thing and, I call it another thing,
Ah,
I just wonder,
well,
if,
defenses are actually much easier than the encampment. Akara took some of this angel root that you sent back and planted it around the edges of the town and in the center of the town. And what was dead quickly became alive again and attracted all manner of rodents and other animals, but it seems to repel most things.
well, I'm glad to hear that. It cost me and my group a whole heap of trouble getting this stuff here and, even releasing this place from its curse.
So I've heard. We are in debt for what you've done. But I fear if Andariel is not removed from the monastery, things may get worse.
Well, I think eventually we're gonna be heading over that way. Would you like to join us while we go liberate this place from Andariel?
You think you have what it takes to face the Demon Queen Andariel?
Well, yeah. We saved Deckard Cain. We rescued at least one of the children from the cave. We took down Bloodraven. We found the tree of Inephis, which led us to a portal, which, had some terrible stuff in it. And Deckard Cain was in there. We found him, brought him back. I mean, come on. We dropped off a guy with half a dead wood looking leg, and look at him now. And I'll point to Carvana.
While you're telling her all this, she's kind of taken aback, and she thinks she begins to, it all kind of sinks in, and she looks back at your friend Lika, who is still training over there. Carvana happens to run by at some point. She looks at him, Your group does have a strange bit of luck, it seems. And skill. I'm not saying there's no skill. Maybe there is a chance. You can liberate, as you say, the monastery for us. And as for me, if you are serious about this, I believe we can send a contingent. Wow, can't speak. Contingent of rogues with you.
How many's in a contingent?
Well, I'm sure they would all volunteer, but someone has to stay here to protect what we have left. Our scouts have been near the monastery.
Well,
It is...
and I cut in. What about Flavia and Chantel?
Oh, I'm certain they would go.
Okay, well that sounds great. I see my my friend Thebe took a little bit of a shine to Chantel. He seems fascinated with her frozen arrow skills.
He seems fascinated with the wind sometimes, and she has a weird look on her face. But according to my scouts, there is no clear path to the monastery. It is swarming with roving hordes of these creatures, these fallen.
And as she says that, I pull one of their skins out of my backpack. Like this?
Oh, well, that's something. Yes.
Also got one of these too, and I pull out the what was it? A bossy?
Oh, the Abishai.
Abishai, that's it. I pulled that out too. I got one of these too.
What in the hells is that?
It's this big demon skin. We took him down, and I thought he'd, I don't know. I just decided to cut this off of him.
What exactly do you plan on doing with this?
Well, once the walls of Simonopolis have been built, I tend to cover it with the skins of my enemies and the enemies of this land.
Yeah. Well, as I was saying, if you do plan to liberate the monastery, you will definitely need help getting in. A distraction, possibly. It is quite guarded.
Well, finding a way in is not going to be a problem. We've got 3 of the sneakiest people I've ever seen in this group. Getting everyone in and then surviving the way through is a whole different subject. That's why I'd like to enlist your help once we start heading that way. Because I see how great of a fighter and, fighter you are. Your assistance would be greatly appreciated. But if your duties here do outweigh that, I totally understand.
If I believe you have a chance at assaulting the monastery, I will lead the charge myself to allow you to get in.
I'll hold you to that.
It will not
And
be easy.
And unless she has anything else to say, I'm just gonna, all righty. That's all I got. Thank you. see you around. And I'll wander off somewhere else.
Okay. I never started your time. Oh, it's Kravana's turn. Never mind. All right, Kravana. Over the next couple of days, your routine stays the same. But your friends are back in town. More so, Sentinel, who you have a closer relationship with than anyone else. But at that, let's take our break before we jump into him, before we jump into Kravana's.
Yeah, jump in me. Explore my
I said
rogue
that wrong.
lore.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm gonna pause the stream. The recording.
Wars for them.
A letter in the shape of a nutsack. Oh no. Hey yo.
Somebody sent me
Fuck.
a bag of dicks. You ever seen that? The Eat a Bag of Dicks
Yes.
gummies. If you
Yeah.
actually type in "Eat a Bag of Dicks" in Google, and it'll pull up their website. You can send someone a bag of gummy dicks,
I am.
Or you
searching
can-
and you
this
can
right
send it
now.
anonymously too. So and it just says
Yeah.
"Eat a Bag
Yeah.
of Dicks"
Great.
on it.
You can also, if you search up dicksbymail.com, you can get a giant chocolate dick sent to someone.
You can also send people bags of shit.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
God,
here it is.
that's
Eat a bag
horrible.
of dicks.
Eat a Bag of Dicks though. I want to send that to my best friend so bad.
There's literally a box next to it with a bag of gummies that says "Eat my
Forgot
ass,"
nobody,
and it's
like-
literally chocolate balls.
They printed in such big font too. Wait a minute.
I wonder how many YouTubers got like gorilla shit in the mail. Because I remember people started doing that where
What?
Yeah. Okay, so we're good. Let's get back to it. Kravana.
yeah.
It is your turn. Also, I'd just like to state that this first round or whatever here, or second round here, is still like generally what are you doing over the course of the next few days, but it's still mostly dealing with just this first day.
Right,
So,
right.
But anyways, yeah, Kravana, back to you, man.
I think on the first day, since Sentinel's back, I want to chat up Sentinel. We'll start with that.
Okay.
While he's in the forge and doing whatever he's doing. Because I respect that grind. We respect that grind.
We'll have at it.
Yeah, so Kravana would probably quietly or gently try to open the forge door and look around and see what's going on. So he doesn't look like he's in the middle of something or interrupting too bad. And would you be in the middle of something, Sentinel?
Yeah. Hammer smashing steel still, but like,
All right.
but Sentinel will kind of like hear like the doorway shuffle, and he'll like, peer over his shoulder towards you, and for a bleak moment, kind of like give like a nod before back at it again.
Right. Yeah, Kravana would probably close the door just as gently and quietly as he came in, and like take a seat somewhere, wherever he can, as long as he's out the way, and wait for Sentinel to be done with whatever he's doing for the day.
It is hot as fuck in here. Charshi is sweating profusely as her and Sentinel are both working on, at this moment, separate items.
Mhm.
As this is the first day, so she's kind of showing you, Sentinel, how to fold and bend the steel the way she does, which is slightly different than the way he does it. Produces a harder edge that, as I said to Sentinel earlier, it maintains the sharpness longer. But that's kind of what you see going on at the moment.
Right. And while I'm waiting, I'd probably be meditating as I wait. Probably chatting up the voices in my head as a
Yeah, as you're
or
meditating.
singular voice.
Yeah, as
Or
you're
two,
meditating,
actually.
you hear these. As you're meditating, you focus in on these voices. You still can't quite make out words. It's just a constant, almost static. But as you're meditating, give me a wisdom check.
Just public.
Yeah.
Oh,
You kind of weave your way in and out of the whispers, but never fully understanding what any of it says. But you know there's something there. There's some knowledge there. There's almost imagery as you touch these whispers with your mind or flashes of a strange world, places, somewhere in this world as you understand it, that you've never seen. A beautiful valley with a lake off in the distance. Another image of a mountain range, snow-capped peaks. There are a quick image of a few of birds, a flock of birds flying by. But none of it really makes sense. You're not sure what you're seeing. But with that check, yeah, that's about all you get. It's kind of confusing almost.
Wow. I certainly have more questions than answers after running through that. And this is all like just thought-wise. He's not saying any of this because he doesn't want to interrupt. But he would continue waiting. And presumably, if they're just going all day with this, we just like cut tonight or something on the first day.
I'm sorry, ask that again.
Presumably, since I assume Sentinel and whoever else is in here are working like the whole day, we would just cut tonight when I can have that conversation with Sentinel.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, by the end of the day, you sit there and meditate much longer than what you thought. You actually at one point kind of close your eyes as you're trying to, get into this, reach into these whispers and understand what's there, and you hear a voice and it kind of snaps you out of it, and Charcy is taking her apron off and hanging it over a hook, and she's like, I think I'm done for the day, Sentinel. I'm actually quite tired. Excited, but I need to rest. And you realize at this point that almost the entire rest of the evening has passed, or day has passed.
Guess I've been here a while. Just wondering where the time gone.
am I acknowledging Charcy?
Oh, you can, sure.
I would look up and I would nod and I'd say, I will see you tomorrow. And he kind of just like as if there's like, it's a quick glance before he continues hammering, trying to finish up on what he's currently on at the moment before the seal colds.
Okay. Charcy leaves. And it is just you and Carvana.
If Sentinel's still going, Ivana would probably work up the courage to just slice in for a second and just speak up. So, what happened while you guys were out?
In between hammering, he just kind of like observes his work craftsmanship as he kind of looks back over at you, motioning you, kind of like leaning forward to allow you to move or maneuver around, kind of gesturing to the area next to him near the anvil. As he's, continues hammering, he goes, "Well, quite a lot has happened since in the edifice tree. We made our way to a pit. I watched us narrowly escape. I lost consciousness, was brought back from consciousness to consciousness, and we found our way through a gateway of some sort. And it's like it's almost as if he's just trying to rush your answer back to you, as if he's completely enveloped in his craft.
Oh, I see. I see we have a new one. Mind mentioning what he's about?
New one. Oh, that kobold creature. His name is Lazarus. You should talk to him. He's a skittish, but means well, I imagine. And he continues crafting, and he's like, as he mentions Lazarus, he looks over at a wrapped weapon sitting on the shelf, and he kind of just acknowledges it for a moment before continuing the final strike, before plunging the sizzling steel into the water bath.
You telling me I should touch it?
Touch it?
Weapon wrapped up over there.
Well, if you want to take a quick look, I think I was very, very creative this time.
Well, you never cease to amaze. And I'll walk over to it and I'll unwrap. Well, what's the shape of it?
It looks like, well, I posted it in the chat there, but it looks much like a long, thin blade with a darkened hilt and kind of like a slightly varnished handguard.
Yeah, very basic. Nothing intricate or no carvings of any type. Just a very basic but very sturdy piece.
Yeah, it definitely looks more like it was designed not so much to look alluring, but more for efficiency or effectiveness.
Certainly not for me, but I'm sure that whoever this is for will service it well.
Indeed. He continues observing as he pulls the tong grass clasps. As he's pulling the thing back out, he's just observing it for any imperfections in the steel before
many
looking.
imperfections. No, I'm joking.
There's just holes everywhere.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking sponge at this point.
And as he's places the still rather hot piece of steel, but now no longer glowing hot steel on the top of the anvil, he kind of slots the glass, or keep wanting to say tongs, but no, the clasps into his apron for a moment, up against it so it doesn't burn, but it's hanging outward. And he turns around and looks at you, and he goes, "Well, I had another idea for something more intricate. I don't know if you heard. I imagine you were there, of course, but Simon wants to, in a way, enlist us under his leadership, and he's wanting to award me a title of Forge Master. It's very, very generous, but I don't know if I have yet something to offer him, but I have an idea." And he's kind of looking around for a piece of burnt charcoal in there. Anything, any embered charcoal?
Yeah, not a problem. Plenty of it.
And he kind of as he rolls out some just really cheap, not parchment, but it's what is it called? it's like cloth, but it's very thick. I don't know how to describe it.
Leather type.
It's not leather, but it's like it's like a thick. It's kind of like what you'd use on the underside of armor, but usually leather is the more of a fancier material. But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a rather like a
Like
parchment
flax
material
or something.
Yeah, and he kind of just starts like etching a design that like just came to him in mind, and he points to it and he's like, "I think I want to produce one of these." As he like shows it to you, and it looks like a clockwork arm brace with a particular sharp, jagged edge protruding from the top of it.
Oh. Now that's unique. But are you seriously considering the title thing? Giving up your
Possibly.
days of mercenary work?
I'm afraid mercenary work's far behind us. We're lost in this world, and until we find a way back or perish, we have nothing more to do than to look forward for the next grand thing.
That's fair. I don't expect reward either. But still, I'm not too sure about the whole offer thing.
I've considered it, but I've wandered a long time, Kavana. You know I have. Having a forge to call my own, and perhaps even more than that. But, as he kind of like continues gazing at his design for a moment, I'm not sure if I'm ready to answer him. Perhaps if I can produce this, it will give me some clarity in my choice.
You're well enough as you are now, but yeah, probably that work will present quite the first impression. Not that I'm one to judge. I don't really know the forge. I just know if something's a fine make and if it'll last long.
This is true, very indeed. And he kind of like, brushes the excess charcoal away from the parchment before looking back at the steel on the anvil. I really must return to my craft here. I'm trying as hard as I can to finish this as soon as possible. I'd rather not leave an unfinished project before we're whisked away to yet another grandiose adventure.
That's fair. I'll get out of your hair now, but thanks for the update.
Most certainly, and by the way, I've seen the leg. It works fine for you, yes?
Feels natural, I guess would be the best word.
Should you need anything from me, let me know. I can see to it I can help provide you with a weapon or maybe something to help steady or armament. I know you usually travel light, so I don't want to bog you down with anything too heavy.
Probably a blade to stick in my foot. I'd give anyone a nice kick.
I'll consider it.
But anyway, I'm out of here. Have a nice night.
Indeed. I would go check out the mess hall they have built. It might have good food for you. I'm sure you're well aware of it.
It's certainly an improvement of the older days.
Indeed. And he goes back and he's stoking the fire and getting the coals rearranged so they can continue heating up the metal again.
As it's late, Kavana would probably head over to the mess hall just to see what's happening there. Probably the closing and cleaning up. And he would likely offer a hand free of charge.
Okay.
That would be the end of his night for the first day.
All right.
Over the course of the remaining days, Kavana would probably actually go to Kasha about that training offer that he had talked about at some point, where he asked for spearmanship training or someone to help with his skills. And
yeah.
probably
Okay.
And then I think that would be it. He'd probably just try things with his foot too to see if there's any more that he could do.
You are able to do one thing. I can either tell you, or I can tell the whole group right now.
Tell us.
Nope, that's up to Kravana.
Go ahead and tell me. No other ears.
Alright, I'll send you a whisper. Actually, I'll send you a DM on Discord because somebody could always... Oh no, they can't see chat on the video, so that's fine. Yeah, I'll just whisper you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Nope. I'm pretty sure Giovanna would just spend his time off with training and getting used to his foot more, incorporating it.
Okay. So can we go ahead and go to the next person, or anything else? You sure?
Yes, sir. I'm complete.
Alright. Rowan, as you've had your breakfast and wandered over to the bathhouse, what are you up to this first day?
Well, initially she was gonna walk in and take a bath, you know, to wash off all the sweat from her training. But seeing all the smoke and steam coming out of the bathhouse, she just kind of stops, pauses, thinks about it. It's like, is it burning? Probably not. She backs away and just walks in another direction. It's like, someone's definitely in there. Not gonna walk in on them. Nope. So she's gonna walk over and she's gonna find Kasha, actually.
Okay. Yeah, this first day, so Kasha and Simon were talking, and Anthony, I don't know if you and I actually finished that if you were done with that conversation, but at this point we're going to assume that this is after the conversation, but we can get back to it if you want later. As you see her and Simon kind of turning away to go their separate ways, she sees you approach, and Rowan, grateful to have your healing hands among us again.
Oh, no, it's really my pleasure. I have a favor to ask you.
I am listening.
Would you mind terribly if you trained our group? I'm going to level with you. And then, like, her kind of prim and proper accent just kind of drops. Well, if I'm gonna be straight with you, no matter how competent we try to make ourselves seem, or what the others may try to show you or tell you, our teamwork, quite frankly, is shit. We don't know how to work with one another. And none of us have stepped up to do any strategizing. Our asses got handed to us nearly twice now. So I was wondering, as kind of like, you seem to be the one who's in charge of the rogues. I was wondering if you would be able to train us in the coming days. Or at the very least, oversee our training.
Well, you say that, but yet here you are, successful in, by all means, endeavors that should have killed you.
They call it luck. Sheer dumb luck.
Call it luck once, maybe twice, but how much have you been through, and you're still here? There is something to be said of that. But I can, yes, teach you a few things. I mean, I don't know what exactly you're looking for, but maybe a formation or two, or
yes, that Simon last night actually suggested a basic formation. He suggested that Lika, Kavana, and Sentinel bring up the front, have himself and Lazarus flank enemies, and then have Thebe and I bring up the rear to provide range support. But none of us have ever practiced with this formation. And I'm worried that if we start with this formation and we start making mistakes and there's no one to correct us, we might make these mistakes when we are in the middle of battle.
Unfortunately, in the middle of battle is where you're the only place you're gonna find out. Things don't ever go as planned when the fight starts. But all you can do is trust that the person next to you is going to do their job. That is the first thing you must learn. In any formation I teach you is that trust holds it together. And it sounds as though, as she kind of glances back as Simon has walked away, she glances over at him. It sounds as though as if someone has already started to strategize this for you. But I can give some pointers if you wish.
Yes, please. If I can get everyone gathered together
Yes,
to train.
That's actually what I was about to say. I am about town. Find me once you are all together and have a moment.
Okay. I'll do that. Thank you.
She looks around at Sorge as you say thank you. She looks around the whole town. I believe I should be doing the thinking.
Once again, Rowan just looks very uncomfortable with the thanks. It seemed like it was only the right thing to do.
Sounds like something a hero once said. And she kind of winks and walks away.
And at this point, Rowan's going to see if she can... She thinks about who she's going to be with on the battlefield, and then realizes, oh wait. She's bringing up the rear with Thebe. So she's going to look for Thebe.
Okay. Thebe, you're not, intentionally hiding or ducking everybody, are you?
No.
Okay.
Thebe is
you are
with
having a
Chantel.
conversation with Chantel, but for this particular moment, we're going to say that conversation is ended. And, of course, we'll get back to it on your turn.
Okay.
But yeah, you find Thebe easily enough. The town, it's not a massive town, so it's not hard to find people if they're not hiding.
Thebe!
Oh, hey, Rowan. What's up, dude?
I was talking to Kasha. Tomorrow, around noon. I'm thinking that we should all train together.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Man, Rowan, you're really taking up the leadership, trying to give Simon a run for his money. Or was it run a Simon for their money?
Rowan looks very confused and kind of like, just very confused at that.
Are glazed. He is done.
Are you okay? Oh wait, no, they'll answer that.
You know what? That's a great question, Rowan. I'm here, and in the now, you're here. And almost, it's like because you're here, I'm here, and we're both okay because we're both here, you know?
Yes, kind of. Maybe.
Exactly. Maybe. You know, Rowan, you seem like you're a wise girl.
I wouldn't exactly say that.
You ever thought about being queen?
No.
Okay. I was curious to that. I mean, you make a good queen, though. You got the natural leadership, I'm just saying. You'd have to find, an eligible king bachelor of some sort. But, that's a future problem.
I don't think I'm fit to be any royalty.
That's cool.
And to be honest, don't think I'd want to be royalty either.
So wait, what did you come over here for again? And hey, do you want to smoke
yes.
it? Steve forgot everything you told him.
I'll just come get you tomorrow at noon. Okay?
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, I'm gonna go look for the others.
Wait, here,
What?
take this good berry. You earned it.
Okay, she takes the good berry.
It's a special good berry.
By special, do you mean...
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, what did you come over here for again?
I'm gonna save it for later. You just do you. I'm gonna head out now.
Oh yeah, where are we going?
The
Thief's
more Thief starts talking, the less posh she sounds, by the way. Like Rowan's just borderline just trying to escape this conversation, and she's nah.
Oh,
I'm going to go find the others. You can stay.
I should get Chantel. We'll be there in a second.
Okay, if you remember that in a minute or so.
I have to say something. In the middle of y'all's conversation, somebody messaged me that Thebe would be the royal matchmaker.
Oh
That's
boy.
too
It's happening, isn't it?
It's not happening.
You say that now.
I say that forever.
You don't know how Rowan will feel later. How dare you?
One of these days,
What?
she's gonna be in Simon's arm as he saves her life, and it's gonna dawn on her.
DM's gonna set the mood. It's gonna be like the twinkle in the eye. It's a trumpet playing in the background
They cast
softly.
Moonbeam at that exact moment. Put on the spotlight. Oh
Okay.
shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. You finish your thing, Rowan.
She's gonna, at this point, she's just gonna find whoever she can find and just let them know that, oh hey, if you have the time tomorrow at noon, we're gonna train with with Kasha. And that way we can like get some teamwork down. But in the meantime, over the course of the next few days, in addition to the training, she would like to talk to Akara about making more of those angel root potions. And she would like to she'd like to concentrate specifically on strength training against Lika and Sentinel if possible.
Okay. So I'm going to assume you're trying to increase your strength itself or endurance or something?
Yes.
Okay, somebody else asked me this actually. So explained in D&D terms, and if you think about it logically in our life, in real life, one strength point increases your carrying capacity, your lifting load, all this by quite a bit, like 100 and something pounds.
Oh.
If you think about that logically, exercising to gain even one strength point takes about a year. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Hey, well then.
It really makes you ask how it is that every 4 levels, all of a sudden we get like 2.
exactly. But
I'll,
you know,
I'll add some
Oh,
caveats
God.
to that. You can definitely increase 100 pounds in under a year on some lifts, right?
yes. But this is also, with every day, continual every day for X amount of hours training and working at it. She's only got a couple of days.
Okay, so instead of raising the strength stat, I guess she's just going to like go toe to toe against Sentinel and Licca in terms of like just maintaining her strength.
Okay.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
She's gonna improve her death saving throws when she fights Sentinel.
I would also like to roll to see if I can physically tackle someone.
Yeah, we'll put
Why
you
do
up
I
against
feel-
Licca, actually.
I was about to say, why do I feel tackle coming on?
We'll put
We
you up
try to
against Licca, actually,
okay.
since he is more of the grappling type.
Okay.
As you've seen him try to grapple several times during fights. So to tackle him is... I'm not going to make you roll to see if you actually land. Yeah, you know what? I am. Give me an unarmed attack. He is not wearing armor, so what's your dexterity, Licca?
I don't know. Wait, give me a sec. I don't. That's that. 0. That's a flat.
So you have a 10 armor class without your armor on.
Yep.
So
Oh, yeah.
go ahead and give me an unarmed strike, Rowan.
Will it be at disadvantage because I'm still exhausted?
No, weapon
No, not
attacks
attacks. No,
don't matter.
I don't think so.
No,
That comes at the
that's-
3rd level of exhaustion.
No, that's second.
Hey,
Third level
that's
is
a
saving
9. I run smack.
No way you
Well,
did.
he kind of stiff arms you off to the side, and yeah, I mean y'all two can role play this out. So
She looks stubborn. She is absolutely set on like trying to land a hit.
give me another attack. Oh, good lord.
Oh, it would have been a crit.
All that training is paying off,
Imagine. Oh, land already!
Oh, there we go. There we go. We got
There
one.
we go. All right. On the third attempt, Licca, you try to definitely knock her aside again, but she seems to be learning quite fast, and she is able to catch you off guard. Now give me opposing athletics checks to see if you can
Okay.
actually tackle him.
God.
Let's go. I've rolled badly before.
Oh God.
Oh shit!
See, I did. I
Oh
rolled bad.
shit!
But, we both rolled bad.
You wrestle him. You kind of wrestle him around and try to get him to the ground, but he is very, very adept at maintaining his feet, his stance, and you just not being the physically trained or fighter that he is, can't quite get him to go down.
Well, that sucks.
Not many people can take me down. Besides Sentinel.
That sounds like a challenge.
I'd like to see them try to tag team against Sentinel.
Rowan's eyes are like kind of narrowed.
You can try. We can do this all day.
Oh lord, he's taunting you.
I could do this all day.
He's just Captain America'd your ass.
Quick, throw the shield.
Nah, she's going to try again. She's gonna keep trying.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Is that another unarmed?
This will be again
Opposing
athletics.
athletic.
Oh,
Alright.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, good lord.
Oh, that was almost a nat 20 on her side.
Oh, poor Rowan. Yeah, you obviously understand that you are outmatched as far as strength goes. in this situation.
Just for flavor, she tries to tackle him again, gets her feet tangled, and she just promptly trips and falls.
Oh no, it's Grease 2.
It's Grease Part 2. Nah. I like extends his hand out, you know. Like, come on, get up. It's okay.
For a moment, she just slumps on the floor, but then begrudgingly takes his hand.
For some reason, I kind of like the idea of Leica just dousing himself in alchemist fire and just going toe to toe while he's on fire.
That would be epic.
The Dread Pirate Roberts.
Would his punches be considered magical? Oh, no, it wouldn't be magical, but they'd do fire damage if he's got it on his fist.
Probably, right?
With liquor. We gotta tag Team Sentinel.
I don't know. I feel like we'd still not be able to take him down. He's pretty robust.
Only one thing took him down.
We didn't even see what took him down. That's the point, you know.
But he said that it was what's his name?
Well, Scarter did show himself to you guys eventually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was Skana, right? Sentinel mentioned something about that.
It just occurred to me it took the BVG to crit on me to finally put me down.
Go to
In one
sleep.
shot.
Don't try. I have the
Listen.
hard stance.
If we can't take him down, then you know how are we gonna go toe to toe against Skana? So
I don't
we
think-
gotta try it. We gotta try it.
I don't think we're going to grapple a demon down to the ground, but you know, I like where you're thinking. We can go invite him. Let's go.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Sentinel seems
Tomorrow.
very busy in the forge right now. I think he's pulling the moves on Chauncey.
Oh God.
The interest.
Lord.
She's currently teaching me how to fold the steel.
Yeah, she's really
Oh.
putting the moves on you.
Thousand folded steel.
Okay.
Watch out.
And that's
We get
basically
folded like
the
an all-white
entire
gamer.
rest of the day passes like that.
Okay. Steve. So Chantel tells you, she pulls out her bow and she says it's actually quite simple. I was told my grandmother was a Nephilim. And I have a touch of the magic in me. It's not much, but it allows me to, and you see her pull back on the string and you see her hand again kind of frost over and that cold mist come off of it, and the arrow, as she's holding the string, the arrow itself kind of frost over, and you see that shing at the end as the ice hits the tip and the sunlight kind of glares off the ice, or the frosted tip. Ha! Anyways, so, but
While she's talking,
uh-huh.
while she's talking, Team's kind of like, she's like, oh yeah, oh totally, yeah, like, do you know the not listening? Like, so the comment about her being Nephilim like just goes completely by Thebe. No idea.
As far as teaching you how to do this,
Yeah.
I don't think I can. And also, can't you do things that are much more powerful than this?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, but no. What was the question?
You asked me
Yeah.
how to do this, and at this, she's kind of lowered the bow now and you know, slacks off on the string, and
Oh, yeah. He pulls out his bow. All right, I'm ready. Let's do it.
again, I don't think I can teach you this. It's just something I feel a magic within me, and I can touch it at times, but it seems to be fleeting. I can only do it every so often.
Oh,
Do you not have something in you that gives you the phenomenal abilities I've seen you and all your friends capable of?
Thebe turns around and looks back at her and goes, "Alright, I'm gonna level with you. I'm not very good at the whole magic thing. Look, my mentor, he always said that I was ridiculously powerful. But here's the thing, I never really, got it, you know? It just didn't, click. So I was hoping you can help me make it click. So whatever you think I may be able to do, maybe I can. But, I don't really know how, you know? So, how do you do it?
Well, first, let me ask you why you want to do it.
Someone may have said I was useless.
Are you pouting now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh no!
That's adorable.
Oh my god.
What does a stoned pout look like?
It's a little sad. His eyes are a little watery, more than they should be. So, he every now and then is nudging them like he's wiping away.
He looks like on the verge of crying.
Yeah, basically.
Oh god!
I need to roll something. Hold on. This would be... Yeah, let's do this. Okay. She kind of puts her hand on your shoulder, and as you're kind of looking down, towards the ground, pouting and saying this kind of under your breath, she kind of lowers her face to get in your line of sight, to get your attention. And she says, "I'm sorry, but did your friends carry you everywhere and take care of you?"
I don't really remember, Chantel, if I'm being honest with you. But, it doesn't feel good when someone hurts your feelings. It's my whole life people have been... a little stuffy in here. My whole life people,
She kind of looks around when you say "in here."
in this area, this immediate area. I think there's some wasps or something. Pollination. Yeah, it's my whole life people have been telling me that, she's been looking down on me, and that's not cool, Chantel. It's not cool.
Well, I'll tell you like this. First off, feelings are like targets. They can only be hit if they are out and about for everyone to see. Secondly, I don't think you were carried around like a child and babysat like a child. I'm fairly certain I saw you perform some pretty great feats of magic. You have some starry thing that apparates from your body and fires magical arrow. I can't even explain what I saw, but that's not something that someone that's useless could do.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I-
really good at smoking. You're right. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I've seen that.
Dude, thanks, Chantel.
I don't think that's what you were supposed to take from this. You know, maybe you shouldn't smoke that. I think it's affecting your thought process.
You see Thebe, like, take the cigar in his mouth and, like, kind of start pulling it away. Not in the sense that he's, like, done with it, but he's kind of taking it and moving it the opposite direction from Chantel so she can't get to it. Yeah, totally, you're so right. Yeah. I'll tone it down, you know. Hey, Chantel, are you gonna show me that arrow thingy, or... Oh, wait, you said you can't do that, right? My bad, I forgot. I remembered...
Are you okay? You seem very out of focus.
Yeah, I don't do so well in these scenarios. Is there anyone here who could help me learn how to do that?
Well, there is a way to do it without magic. I've heard that there are gems that can be placed in weapons or items to grant them special properties. I have not seen this, but I have heard in Loot Golain there are such things.
What the fuck? Like, people put in a gem into, like, their bow, and then it, like, shoots cold?
In a simple way of saying it, yes.
Dude! Never thought about that. Wonder if that works for, like, anything. Like, could I take my arrow and, like... I don't know, put some rocks on it and have it do. How does it work?
Well,
It's
the
really
gems-
interesting.
The gems are not just rocks. They are not just any gems. They are gems that have been crafted by people with a touch of magic. They are
Wait.
not rare by any means, but they're not just everywhere either, understand? These things can't just be given out. But from what I've heard, they are quite readily available in Loot Golain for a price.
Oh man. And you don't have any here, right?
Unfortunately, no. We don't really have much of anything here anymore.
I'm
Sadly.
gonna eye her up and down for any jewelry and also an insight check. Phoebe's in that mode.
Yeah, how high are you? Disadvantage on the
Oh,
insight,
he's gone.
maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Alright, let's... Character sheet, baby. Where's my insight?
Actually, you could just click your token and use the little bar at the top. Jesus
Oh, okay.
Christ.
What did I roll?
A 20.
Wait,
With
wait.
disadvantage, you rolled a 20.
No, it shouldn't be... Oh, because it's a dirty 20.
Yeah, a dirty 20. Jesus. She seems to be telling the truth, and you don't see any jewelry on her. It's not very what's the word? You know, she's ready for combat at all times, so it's not something she would have on her.
Practical.
Practical, that's the word. Yes. But give me a perception check, Thebe.
Sure. Disadvantage?
No, because this is not something that's super hidden. Actually, what's your passive? Let's see.
Oh goodness, I don't think it's very good. But then I have high wisdom,
16.
so maybe.
So, you do spot a small charm hanging from the end of her bow. But it's not part of the bow, obviously. It's been something that was added after.
Okay.
After market.
I pointed out to her. I go, "Oh yeah, what's that right there? I see one of those gem things you're talking about right there."
That was my mother's. It's for luck.
Oh. Oh, okay then. That makes total sense. So, like, you just wanna... Does it help you? Wait,
I
you
feel
have it
like
on
it
your
does.
bow. Oh, Chantel, that's huge. I think I need to make me a charm, and then I'll be able to do it. Dude, Chantel, you're the best.
Okay. Thank you.
Phoebe runs off into the woods, excited.
Okay.
And as he gets to the woods, he starts thinking about how he can make his charm. And he pulls out some Inifis ashes and pulls out a seed. We'll say it's just like a simple, I don't know, oak seed.
Okay.
And he digs like a little hole with his bare hands and puts a little bit of the ashes, then plants the seed in it, and then begins to druid craft it, so that it's fashioned and planted and maybe sprouts a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, it does. One small sprout. Boop, out the ground.
So Phoebe is thinking that this will make a good anchor central point for the charm, and now he's looking around the woods for some random shit. What's in the vicinity? This used to be the old town of Sorjay. Are there any bones?
Yes, there are definitely bones.
Oh yeah, that has to be magical. Phoebe is assuming it's a magical demon bone. He's gonna have to go grab a femur of that and run over to it and split it in half. Oh yeah, this is perfect. A little creepy. So he sticks them together, and over time he's going to search kind of like the premise for just like knickknacks. And thinking back on what Chantel said, she said that magical people make these gems, right? Thieve is magical sometimes. Maybe he can make one.
Okay.
And so I'm going to spend my time being useless and making a magical charm to put on the end of my bow, just like she did.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's quite a bit of time there. So, Lazarus, buddy, what are you doing?
I'm still sitting in the bathhouse.
Oh, the
talking
horn.
to my horn. Yes.
The horn. So you sit there for roughly 15 to 20 minutes. You give up talking after a few moments, and you're just kind of staring at this thing, and you feel something stir. You feel as if you are connected to something else. It's both physical and mental. And you also begin to you focus in on this horn, and you kind of lose track of time, and conveniently about an hour goes by, and you come to understand some of the nature of this thing. And with that understanding comes the knowledge that you didn't gain the ability to cast spells from this thing. Something tells you that was always in you, and you just recently tapped into it. although you believed it came from this horn, now you understand the true nature of this horn, or at least to an extent. And this horn is much more than just what you thought it was. I will actually... Can I do this? You know what? I don't want to do that. But I'll do this. It's actually called, I'm not going to tell that either. I'm going to just send it to you. Because...
Sneaky.
Yeah. I'll send you a thing. Hold on. Okay. Who are you again?
Lazarus?
Comet?
Oh,
that's you?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so you can look that up, read through it. Some of the properties will be determined later. But as of right now, your back kind of begins to itch a little bit as you become attuned to this thing.
Alright. At this revelation, Lazarus is just gonna kind of stand up and meander over to the nearest bucket and then profusely vomit. Like, he feels very sick to his stomach at this revelation, and he doesn't know what to do with the information, but move forward with it. And he's gonna... Well, he's not gonna put the steam out. He's just gonna grab his coat and walk out of the bathhouse. There's still steam billowing out of the door. Like, he put way too many rocks in that pool. But he's just gonna kind of sickly walk out of the bathhouse. He's gonna look over at the training area where Rowan and Lika were, see them sparring.
Alright. Actually, I think I can do it like this. Okay.
They're over there.
Lika and Rowan. Yeah, they are...
Yeah. He's gonna stalk
Excuse
her
me.
this way, looking a little sickly, and just kind of watching them, spectating as he sits down and tries to calm himself.
Horn was
Do
a
we
bit
notice? Do we notice him approach?
Rowan certainly doesn't.
Lika, yeah, you do.
I feel like after one of the takedowns, after taking down Rowan again, I would look up to see see Laz.
Rowan's camera's not on. I want to see the look
Are
on
you
his
okay,
face.
my friend?
Yeah.
Holding her down.
Just a little, just a lot. What are you two doing?
We're spotting.
Sparring, he says. She's still laying on the ground. She just kind of looks like...
At this point, Rowan is filthy. She's got grass sticking out of pieces of her armor. She's dirt on her face. Her hands are filthy. Nails are just clogged with dirt. Cuticles nasty looking. She's got a couple little scrapes and scratches along her cheek. She looks rough. She's having a hard go of it here.
I don't think this is considered sparring. I think this is bullying at this point.
Yeah.
She's permanently player 2.
Do you mind if I try?
Come on.
Ah, sure. Go ahead.
I can take
She
my hand.
rolls out of the field to the side. She's just done.
Um,
And what would you
You'll
like to
also notice that she doesn't sound as posh as she normally does. She sounds like very much like lower class, raised in the street type.
do? Raised in the streets.
She's
So,
lost some of
Raised
that
in the
accent.
streets.
so, were you doing some kind of wrestling?
Yes. That's kind of.
He's
what
an
it was.
immovable wall, is what he is.
Is he?
No, it's just it's her inexperience with.
As he's
fighting.
talking, Lazarus is going to run up behind Licka and try to take out his knees.
Give me an attack roll, and that'll be
I like that.
unarmed. But the DC is only his AC is only a 10, so
Yeah. You can hit me.
My strength is only a 10, don't you know?
You got this.
Don't you know?
oh
Oh,
shit, he's got
there we
this.
go.
Well, you try to take out his knees. Licka, give me a dex save to see if you can stay on your feet.
Oh, dex save. I'm not gonna stay on my feet. I'm
Actually-
falling down.
Isn't it a strength save? Because Laz is so much smaller than Licka.
Well,
If it's strength
this
save,
is he specifically went for a knee, so it's not his strength that's going to keep him up. It's his
Got it.
dexterity to try and maintain his balance.
Got it. Well, bye, Licka.
I buckled down.
Holy shit! Yeah, your knee buckles like he moves extremely fast. I mean, he's a rogue, and he's small, and he darts around behind you as you're talking, and not expecting you. So you're like, oh shit! And by the time you turn, you feel the blow in the back of your knee, and you know when somebody comes and hits you in the back of your knee and your leg buckles, that's exactly what happens. You know, like and you just drop to that knee buckles and you drop down to your knees on the ground.
See, Rowan?
You can see Rowan's eyes just turn into like slits because she's just like, okay.
You see, Rowan, one thing I learned from the Kobold Caves is you gotta take every opportunity you get to strike at your opponent.
He's playing to his strengths. He knows what he's doing.
So by that explanation, I should be throwing bolts of radiant energy at you.
If that's what you're good at.
We're conjuring something to restrain him, sure. If your strength is magic.
Wait, Rowan? Hang on a second. Let me see.
GM's like, I'm gonna give you radiant punches.
No, but let's see. You can cast. You have any third level spells? First, second.
I have spirit guardians.
Oh, you don't have third level spells yet.
That's my dog. Wait, give me a second.
She should have third level spells.
I
She's
do.
level 5.
I don't see any on
I
your
have-
list.
Currently, the ones I have equipped are Beacon of Hope, Revivify, and Spirit Guardians.
Oh, third level. Duh. There it is. Okay.
I didn't change out anything from the last time, though.
Okay, never mind. I was thinking you had hold person.
Isn't that a second
Oh.
level spell?
Isn't that... s-
That's second level. Pretty sure it is. Spell book. Yeah, it's second level.
Is it? How come it's
Yep.
not on her list?
She probably only added spells that she thought of at the time instead of adding the whole compendium list. That's what I've done, and that's why my sheet looks different. Because if I switch in and out frequently, it's better that way. But if she has her go-tos, then
So when he says this, hold someone magically. And you know what? Let me just put it in your damn list here. Spells. There you go. It just comes to you that, oh yeah, and you do know of the spell hold person, which you have. So
Her eyes just kind of turn bright blue at that point.
You also
in that
can use
realization.
You also have it. I'll
What?
say you also have enhanced ability, which is
What
a
is
spell. That is a second level spell that lets you change certain statistics that your body has. Not like actual stats, but like it lets you do, like if you, for example, if you take Bear's Endurance, you get advantage on con saves, Bull Strength, advantage on strength checks, and double capacity carrying. It's concentration, but if you're trying to spar and he's making you do strength checks and all, then
It's nice to have advantage.
but you could target him and cast hold person too.
Yep.
Her hand outstretches, and her eyes like
Just
flash blue.
just bane him so he'll get -4 all this stuff.
Okay.
Is it asking you for a saving throw?
It is not, but I know that I have to.
Hang on, click this saving throw DC on the
Yeah, I was gonna do that.
on the chat.
I don't have enough wisdom, unfortunately. Also, dump that stat. So I am paralyzed.
And now she's gonna tackle him. Is it athletics again?
Actually, it's nothing because
nothing?
he is immobilized, and you can do as you wish to him.
Oh yeah, she tackles him.
So Lika, you are, discussing that, to Lazarus about, playing to his strengths, and Lazarus is saying, well, Rowan, you could use your magic to whatever, and you do this, and look, as you turn to look towards Rowan, you see her hand outstretched and a little flash of blue in her eyes, and you are motionless. You can see, you can hear, but all of a sudden you can't move, and she just comes like a raging mad woman. Ah! And fucking just tackles the shit out of you.
Into the dirt.
Yeah, y'all both hit the ground. You roll. I'm gonna say, is this concentration?
Yep. It is.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, for this instance, as you tackle him and you kind of, thrilled at the moment of victory, you lose concentration, and as y'all hit the ground, look at the spell, wears off.
Nice.
But yeah, that's how that goes.
As soon as the spell wears off and my back touches the ground, I spawn the echo right behind me and I phase out of her grapple, so I'm just standing again right in front of her.
Wow.
Playing to our strengths.
Well played. Well played. Oh my
So she
god.
doesn't actually. So she collides with him.
No.
And then as
You
hit
collide
on the
with
ground.
Lika, yeah.
I collide with Lika, but as they're falling, instead of falling on top of Lika, I squish his
No,
echo instead.
you do still fall on top of me. But as soon as the concentration leaves or as soon as the spell wears off,
Mhm.
and I can feel my movement again, so there's about a second or two that I'm on the ground. The echo comes back, and now you just see the black shade just in front of you. And then I extend my hand out to you again.
She's pouting. She's
So
just
wait.
pouting.
Wait, does it actually specify for hold person if they're attacked? Because it doesn't specify that.
Which one, sir?
If they what?
Choose a humanoid that you can see within range. Target must
No, but she's so excited
Yeah.
that it worked.
Oh,
she lost
you-
concentration.
You lost concentration. For some reason, I thought that this happened because you attacked her. I know.
Oh,
I know
no,
a
no.
lot of the. There are
No.
charm spells that are like that. I didn't realize Hold Person was just like, yeah, just keep ganging up on them.
Yeah. This isn't like a charm effect where you hit and then I can make another saving throw.
It's like she
Ah.
collides, goes like screams yes, and then like because she's so excited, she forgets to hold the spell and just
Exactly.
As fun as this is, do you know if someone put poison ivy in the bathrooms?
No.
no.
Okay.
I know the bathroom is billowing steam.
I'm going to choose to not acknowledge that. Because-
Insight check. I want to see if he knows something about it.
Wait, if you know something about what? I'm sorry.
About the billowing steam from
Oh,
the bathroom.
okay, yeah. Give me an insight
no.
check. And you give me a deception check. Lou.
Oh, you're going down. You're going down.
There's the
Deception.
insight. Ooh, buddy, you better roll a high deception.
25. You better have expertise in this.
Did you
Fight
put
the
expertise
roll.
in deception? Nope, no.
He is absolutely lying through his sharp little fucking teeth.
Are you the reason I couldn't take a bath before?
Who says you need a bath anyway?
A shower would be nice.
He's
right
not
about that.
at this point, she looks at Lika. He's not saying no.
He isn't.
What were you doing in a steaming bath for that long anyway?
I was talking to my horn.
Is that
Whoa.
like a euphemism?
Yeah, you notice like a look down at your crosshair like okay.
He's talking to his horn.
He's talking. I think we have a title, my friends.
You just shrug and like you know you do.
Euphemism for what? No.
In the bathroom talking to my horn.
Are you sure? No one's in the bathroom that long for
Must have been a stimulating conversation.
There was
That's
a
so
lot.
funny.
No, there was a lot happening. There was no horn. Well, there was horn talk, but there was no horn talk. Well, it didn't really talk back.
well, obviously it wouldn't talk back.
But when I left, I was very itchy all of a sudden.
Oh no.
So, is there something in the bathroom? Are you sure you don't know if there's anything in the bathrooms?
We can go check.
Did kobolds get crotch rot?
No, not down there. It's on my back.
On your back?
It's
Probably more
turn around.
suspicious.
turn around. Turn around.
And I'm gonna turn around. And, like,
Do I see anything weird on his back?
drop my cloak.
I mean, you're not familiar with kobold anatomy. He is, for the most part, built like a humanoid. So give me a perception check. Unfortunately, it's gonna be a disadvantage because
Okay.
like I said, you're not familiar with kobold anatomy. So,
Mm-mm.
oh god,
That's
that's
so
wow.
We both rolled 12. This is insane.
You see on his back,
Oh, and-
roughly around where his shoulder blades should be,
Mhm.
two little bumps. You're not quite sure should be there, but then again, you're uncertain about kobolds. But they do strike you as odd.
I'm poking it and casting Lesser Restoration on him.
Ah.
I mean, you feel her kind of poking on your back. Nothing painful or anything. The lesser restoration does nothing.
Can you scratch it? Can you
Are
scratch
you-
it while you're there?
She scratches. And she's like, are you growing wings or something? Oh my.
Wait, what?
How would you contact them?
No. Kobolds
the
aren't
plate-
supposed to have
Well,
wings.
the placement is certainly odd, these bumps.
Are you sure they're not like spider bites or something?
No, it seems to be under the skin, the bumps.
Yes.
This is highly irregular.
It's definitely underneath your skin. A bug bite would be on top of your skin.
Rowan, MD, everybody.
Thank you for your professional diagnosis, Dr. Rowan. I don't know what to do with this information.
Maybe take another shower.
Are you sure
Maybe
they're
talk
not
to your
bug
horn
bites?
about it.
My horn doesn't talk.
Maybe you're just not talking hard enough.
Maybe if.
She looks
I'm
like she's
gonna-
having entirely too much fun with this conversation, by the way.
maybe if I. Can you keep scratching?
Keep
It's
scratching.
really itchy.
Just keep scratching.
I'm gonna say you see his right leg kind of kick a little bit from the ground.
Adorable.
It is itching to the point where this is actually relief as she scratches it. Like you're like, oh my god, you know, you're a kobold. You're used to being dirty and grimy. You're not used to. I mean, so the itching was kind of something you could ignore. But once she starts kind of scratching it, you realize that holy shit, that was really annoying, and this feels really good.
Nice.
Oh god.
She's just gonna keep going until he says stop.
That's why humans like these massage parlors.
He's just gonna kind of like melt into a puddle on the ground.
Kind of lean into the scratch, like, oh yeah. So now you've got like this little pet lizard. He's actually I envision now. I mean, this is not my character, but I envision he is kind of slumped over with his head, with his body laying on the ground, but his ass is still kind of up in the air. His arms are laid out behind him like that. And he's just kind of on the ground, like just like a lizard rolling in the dirt, you know. But that's how I'm picturing it.
Oh god. Yes.
Yes, this is gonna continue until he doesn't want to be scratched anymore.
Oh no, I'm gonna pass
all
my turn
day.
there. I'm passing my turn there.
Yeah, Sentinel, as you and Curvana were having a conversation, you see Deckard Cain approach the forge. He opens the door, but with the blast of heat that comes out of the forge, he closes his eyes and a slight wince as he backs away.
Do I notice this while I'm tending to the forge?
You do, yes.
I'll like look back at him as he tries to enter, and I make a remark along the lines of, "It's quite hot in here, and something in the kitchen and heat. How can I be of service to you, Mr. Deckard Cain?"
I've had enough of heat for the next lifetime, I believe. I actually came to ask you about that shield I saw you with.
And as he does, mentions that he like glances over at the shield he's placed against the wall to free up his arms, and he kind of like nods, you know, leaving the forge in a position that would be safe to let it stand as he walks over, grabbing the shield and moving towards Deckard Cain. Yes, we found it in that room with the gems, and so far it's proved itself quite useful to me.
Might I take a look?
As he says so, Sentinel like hesitantly like looks down at the shield for a moment before, you know, cautiously handing it over, almost like it's not something he really wants to do.
so he takes the shield, and immediately you see the strain as he kind of lowers it to the ground, the tip of it kind of settling into the ground, and he turns it, and he holds it, with the tip in the ground. He holds the top of it to hold it, to keep it standing up, and he kind of bends down and begins looking at the runes and whatnot around it. If this is what I think it is, this is quite the shield you have here. One of several artifacts, powerful artifacts, I believe. Does it have a name?
Sentinel like ponders for a moment, and he, nods and says, "Yes, it goes by a name, but if unspoken, it typically releases a blast of energy from its face." As he motions in front of the shield.
It is Kavath, is it? Isn't it? Sorry, I choked there.
Yes, indeed it is.
This shield was created by the Haradrim with the help of the angels to confront the prime evils. This is quite the treasure you have found. The last hero to wield it was Shaira, a mighty warrior from the Knights of the Faith of the Order. Angel's fury has not been seen since her fall in battle to capture and trap Mephisto some 250 years ago.
Sorry, I'm taking that notes down. Interesting. The shield had spoken to me before. I couldn't quite. Although I should say I haven't lately been able to speak to it again. It's been troubling to try and speak with it. The being or the entity within it seems to be dormant.
The angel Kavath had his life force bound to the shield upon his creation. He's probably tired. It's been quite some time.
Perhaps maybe if I mention some of the things you told me now, it might spark conversation.
It very well may. If it would be okay, I would like to have your friends gather. I have some questions. Sometime in the next couple of days, not immediately, mind you.
Most certainly. I'll pass it along to the others, although I must finish with my current project before I leave the forge dormant.
I appreciate it, young Warforge. Is that what you are, you said?
Yes.
Very well. We'll talk some other time. And he kind of leans the shield towards you to grab it. And he
does so very.
He begins to walk away.
Sentinel picks up the shield with relative ease and just carries it back into the forge, placing it on one of the tables as he looks at the forge, just making sure that everything is neatly kept and nothing could possibly cause any damages if left untended. He takes a moment and looks at the shield, contemplating what he was just told, and he tries to, again, closing his eyes, speak in his mind to the shield.
And this is the same day, right? You tried it this morning?
I don't know how many days have passed at this point. I think this is the end of the first day.
Yeah. This is the end of the first day at this
Okay.
where this conversation took place. So
Okay.
yeah, it's you hit that wall again.
All right. And I leave the shield placed on the table and then proceed to continue forging.
But with this information, I'll let you know this. The DC will be slightly lower now that you have something to spark interest and possibly strike a conversation up with the entity within. So the DC the next time you try to speak with it will be slightly lower. So.
Okay.
Anyone else care to do anything this particular session? The next episode or next session, we'll kind of wrap this up with our downtime here, letting you guys accomplish the things you were set out to accomplish tonight. But how many days would y'all like to rest and recuperate here at Sorge?
However many days it takes to finish my list.
It's gonna be at a minimum, however long it takes for Rowan to recover. Because I think she was the worst off, right, with exhaustion?
Right.
Well, she only needs to sleep one more day to fully recover.
Correct.
But
One day.
So like
You know-
at least 3 days would be good.
she still wants to train with y'all. So,
I mean,
Like,
we
I'd
could.
say like 3 days to a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could do a course, have all this happen over the course of like a week.
yeah, I wouldn't say more than a week.
I'd say like about a week would be fine. That's plenty of time for me to achieve my goal.
Week sounds good.
For me to get these bug bites sorted out.
So, towards the end of the first evening, everybody kind of gathers up in the structure that has been set aside for you guys, your house, and there's a static. I mean, it's like an electricity in the air. There's something that is being unsaid, and there's kind of a tension amongst everyone. But that's for y'all to figure out. Anyways, the next morning, and we're gonna end it here in just a minute. The next morning, when you awaken, you hear a squeal from Lazarus.
Oh no.
As this morning, he has a set of wings.
Oh.
And that is where we will end the episode.
Yo, we got flight. Let's go.
They weren't
So-
bug bites.
Lizard bird.
So, anyways, if you're watching, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and hopefully we will return next week if I don't have any issues, if nobody else has any issues. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a week, I guess.
Bye.
Later.